Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet, the John Campea Show, coming up right here on my YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around so we talk about our favorite things in the world: movies, movie news, TV, streaming, all sorts of good stuff. And joining me here today, sitting over here on this Monday, we got the wonderful Chris Carr. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I had a great weekend. I ate so much brunch. It was fantastic.
Brunch sounds good.
Brunch was great. I had salmon Benedict over latkes.
You know what's even better?
What?
You didn't test positive for COVID this morning.
I didn't test positive for
No,
COVID.
we can't say the same thing about everybody in our crew. No, obviously Rob is still not here. Yeah. He will be back this week. Don't worry. And you know what? He's feeling fine.
He is.
Rob's feeling fine. He's feeling good. I was talking to him this morning, but yeah, even though he had tested negative a couple days in a row, he had tested positive this morning. He goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, let's play it safe. You should stay home. Rob will be back sometime this week. Also joining us, laughing at Rob's misfortune. He's joining you guys in the laughing chat. Rayora.
Is he taking the right test? That's all I want to know.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
like
know.
An online test.
Is this the one you stick in your butt? No, Rob, it's not. No,
it's not the one you answer questions online and then figure out the percentage. Let him know.
Like, no, it's not a suppository. You don't do it online. And also, producer Jonathan is joining us over here today.
Hey,
we just tested his camera.
Wait, are you being serious or is this
no?
a joke?
It's frozen again.
It froze again.
We literally just tested his camera like 2 seconds ago and it was working.
Oh my God! See, I know it.
It's so we can all better appreciate that sweet Ninja Turtle shirt.
Yes, and it's going to be clearly going to be one of those days. Anyway, guys, we're glad that you're joining us here today on this Monday. May you have a triumphant week filled with triumph and victory laying ahead of you as we start this new week. Oh, right.
Before you begin, did you happen to see SNL on Saturday?
No, but I heard
a lot of the cast said bye, like Kate McKinnon, Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I forgot the other girl, Landry or something like that.
Something like that.
And one more person. They all did their little farewell. I just wanted to point that out. Because they did another Alien skit, the one that
that's McKinnon's.
Yeah.
I'll go on record. That the Kate McKinnon Alien sketch, the one, I think it was the first one they did with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that was.
I honestly believe that is the funniest sketch they've done in a decade.
I love it so much.
She is so, and the way that like Gosling is like, he can't hold it together during that. Like he's just dying. Like it is one of the funniest things, like I said, I think they've done in 10 years. So everybody was talking about Pete Davidson. So like, okay, that's fine. I like Pete Davidson, don't get me wrong, but he's okay on Saturday Night Live.
He's barely on Saturday Night Live.
Kate McKinnon has been, like, to me, she's been the new Will Ferrell of Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
like for a long, long time. So her leaving was a pretty big deal. Anyway, guys, it is good to have you here, and here's how today's show is going to go. We're going to break today's show up into two parts. In the first half of the show, we're going to talk about some predetermined topics. Then in the second half of the show, we're going to take your live comments and questions. If you'd like to get a live comment or question read on the show today, number one, you got to be watching live. Then pay attention, because as we get to the end of our main topics today, we'll announce that we're opening up the super chats, and that's when you can fire in your comments, questions, thoughts, observations, theories, whatever, and we will read those off in the second half of the show. But for now, let's get to a couple of off the tops here, shall we? And our first off the top is this. Now, we're going to be talking about Doctor Strange a little bit later in the show, but there's another bit about Doctor Strange that kind of came up today that is of note. Of course, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is #1 at the box office again for its third weekend in a row, already easily surpassed the box office totals of the first Doctor Strange movie, and it's doing quite well. Well, now it looks like we may know when Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to come to Disney+, and according to reports, it looks like June 22nd. This comes from the folks at Screen Rant, who wrote the following. Less than a month after it first came to theaters, Pop Culture Leftovers has brought word that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will reportedly begin streaming in June. The Twitter account reports news with the screenshot of the German version of Disney+, which indicates that the MCU sequel will begin streaming along with a making-of featurette on June 22nd. At the time of writing, no official streaming date has been announced by other Disney Plus regional accounts. See the report below. So if you scroll down a little bit there, Jonathan, you'll see the tweet in question that they're talking about. There it is. There's the Disney Plus. A little bit further down, Jonathan. There's the Disney Plus. I think you got to go lower.
Oh, here we go.
There it is. There's the Disney Plus Germany account where it does list on June 22nd, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming out. Now, why this is believable is because, the basic standard here is 45 days now. This is outside of the 45-day window, not by a lot, but it is outside of it. So it could make sense that this could easily be its release date. A couple things we got to keep in mind, though. Number one, the German Disney Plus Twitter account took this post down.
Oh.
And number two, no other, as was already mentioned in the report here, no other Disney Plus regional site has confirmed this information. So it may very well be, it kind of looks like it will be. This kind of looks like oops, this wasn't supposed to be shared yet, although who cares? It's just the date that it's coming out. So I'm going to go on record right now and say I believe this. I mean, it falls outside of the 45-day window. I don't think it's particularly wise. Like, again, this movie is still number one at the box office. It's not going to be making $10 million, by June 22nd. It's not going to be making that much in a week, but still, I kind of feel like this one should at least be pushed to mid-June. But whatever, it seems like it makes sense to me. I buy it. Chris, you're seeing this report. A German Twitter of Disney Plus Germany seems to say it's coming out on the 22nd, but they pulled it down. Do you believe it?
I do. I mean, it makes sense. Like you were saying, it's within the window. I did expect it to come out later because I do think this film has legs. It's not going to be, like you said, bringing in huge numbers, but I think people still like seeing this. People like Ray, too, want to go back and see it in 3D, or I want to go see it in the 40X. The thing is, though, too, on June 22nd is when Umbrella Academy drops, so I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
That's what I want to watch on June 22nd, so I feel like they probably could leave this in theaters a little while longer. It's not like it's going to change any revenue, though.
Yeah, not a lot at that point. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Apparently, the German Disney Plus site let it slip. That's coming out on June 22nd. That does fall within the required time zone, but maybe it's a little bit soon. What do you guys think? Jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's do one more off the top here, shall we? And that is this. Now, if you are a fan of the fantasy genre, then you are licking your lips and wetting your pants for the end of this year, because we have two premium fantasy series coming in the brand new Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, and the brand new Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, are coming. Of course, The Rings of Power, very big in the news. It is by like 7 times the most expensive television series in the history of the medium. Like nothing else is coming close. And then, of course, you have Game of Thrones, which is, of course, the #1 most Emmy-winning show of all time. No other show has ever penetrated the zeitgeist of our culture like that did, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a fantasy fan, get ready. It's coming. George R.R. Martin kind of chimed in on this. And he said a couple of things that I think were very, very interesting. And let me read what he said here. This comes from an article in Variety, where it basically says, hey, are you hoping that the new Game of Thrones show wins more Emmys than Lord of the Rings? He says this: I know a lot of articles, the minute the dates were announced, this is again from George R.R. Martin. I know in a lot of the articles that the minute the dates were announced, it's like, oh, the battle for fantasy supremacy. It's Rings of Power versus House of the Dragon. Who will win? I don't know why they always have to do that, Martin told The Independent at the Santa Fe Literary Festival. I hope both shows succeed. I'm competitive enough. I hope we succeed more if they win 6 Emmys, and I hope that they do. I hope we win 7. But nonetheless, it's good for fantasy. I love fantasy. I love science fiction. I want more of these shows on television. First of all, George R.R. Martin sometimes comes across as, maybe he's partaken in some of the more hallucinogen herbs that are out there a little bit. Maybe. All good. He's an adult man. But I love what he's saying here for a couple of reasons. Number one, I love that he's saying, yeah, guys, this isn't Game of Thrones versus Lord of the Rings. We're fantasy fans. We are all fantasy fans. Well, not all of us, but those of us listening to this, we're fantasy fans. This is great for all of us. I hope that Lord of the Rings show wins 6 Emmys. I love that he's saying that. But I also love that he's being a little bit real and say, I hope they win 6, but I hope we win 7.
Yeah.
So I kind of love the fact that we've got, number one saying, look, this isn't an us versus them. This is us. We are winning. fantasy television is going to hopefully be at the peak that it's ever been right now. And that is exciting stuff. But yeah, I want us to be better because when you have a little bit of a competitive edge to it, it means you push and you push each other. It's why Magic and Larry were like the best of the best, because Larry would never have been as good as Larry was if Magic wasn't there. Magic never would have been as good as he was if Larry wasn't there. And that's what I kind of hope this is. To me, this is exciting. I can't wait to see the stuff. Anyway, Chris, you're reading George R.R. Martin's. He's saying, yeah, look, big fantasy fans, but I do hope we win more. What do you take out of his comments?
I mean, one, I wish I wasn't just reading quotes of his.
I'd like an actual book would be nice.
A book would be pretty cool, George. I don't know if you got some time.
Got time to make quotes.
Maybe pen to paper. I think this is great. And one of the things that was the best takeaway for me from Game of Thrones was it's such a beautiful example of how genre does not determine merit.
Right.
You know, this was a hugely popular show, critically acclaimed, won so many awards, and it was high fantasy. You know, because at the end of the day, it's just about telling good stories. Oh no, we went out. So I'm really excited about that. And I love, love, love this competitive nature here. There's room at the table for everybody, but I love that it's a friendly competition. It makes me think of how all of the late night hosts are now.
Right.
They all really get along. They pop on each other's show. They love hanging out, but there's pizza parties when, you know, Colbert has better ratings.
Yes.
And it's just friendly competition that makes everyone do better, like you were saying. So I think this is fantastic.
Yeah. And again, I just can't wait for this. It's like the idea back in the day, it's not much of a competition anymore. Back in the day, if you had a Star Trek movie and a Star Wars movie coming out at the same time, if you're a sci-fi fan,
what a great week.
Yeah, it's a great week. And I cannot wait for this. I love what George R.R. Martin is saying here. Guys, question is for you. What do you take away from what George R.R. Martin is saying here? Are you somebody who is looking forward to one and maybe not the other? Are you looking forward to both? Maybe you're not a big fantasy fan. You don't care about either. Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's now move into our main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select our main topics here on the John Campea Show? Well, it's really simple. You see, you guys come up with our main topics. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic on the show, just go anytime 24/7 to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
Our first topic comes from Jacob N. Happy Monday, everyone. So I'm a bit confused. Before No Way Home came out, Tom Holland was talking like this was his last Spider-Man movie. Now I'm reading that Sony is planning on bringing back the whole cast and director John Watts. Why do you think Holland would change his mind so quickly? Are other movie roles not working out for him?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. No, the world is an okay place to be when you're Tom Holland right now. I wouldn't worry about Tom Holland right now at all. But yeah, listen, right before Spider-Man No Way Home came out, I mean, everybody was saying a lot of stuff, including Tom Holland, who sort of made some references to, oh, I don't know, maybe this is it for me. Maybe I'm done, blah, blah. To which I said, guys, like, listen to me. Tom Holland is not done playing Spider-Man. Like, there's no way. But say, oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone else come along, play Spider-Man now. Maybe say, nobody believed for one freaking second that Tom Holland wasn't coming back to play Spider-Man again. We all knew that he would. Now, we didn't know exactly how Spider-Man No Way Home was going to end. Was it going to end with a definitive Spider-Man leaves the MCU and goes into the Sonyverse, which I speculated they were going to do for a long time? Do they end it with him seemingly dying, which obviously would have been a fake death anyway? I love the way it ended, as a matter of fact, with him having that suit, the sewing machine. Nobody knows who he is anymore, swinging out. It was a great ending. But listen, nobody took him seriously. That he was. And to be fair to Tom Holland, he never once said definitively, guys, this is it. This is my final turn as Spider-Man. He never did say it like that. He just kind of, implied it heavily a number of times. We all knew that wasn't the case. And in case there was any confusion about him coming back, well, the head of Sony Pictures is kind of putting that to rest. This comes to us from the folks over at Coming Soon, who wrote the following. This is the head of Sony talking. He says, "We hope to get working on the next Spider-Man movie," said Rothman to Deadline before confirming that he hopes the full cast returns. That whole group, we hope. Then there are movies that I would call adjunct to the Spider-Man universe. That's Kraven, which we're shooting now, and Madam Web, which we'll start shooting in the spring with S.J. Clarkson directing. And then there are many Marvel characters that are standalones. Okay, so that comes to us from Rothman, who's of course the head of Sony Pictures. So number one, he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're hoping to get moving on the new Spider-Man movie soon, and we're hoping the whole cast comes back." Now, when you're saying that publicly, that means you're getting the whole group back. And by the way, the context of the conversation also included John Watts, the director. And apparently he's saying they want to have him back as well to direct the next one. John Watts coming back to direct the next one to me is a little bit of a coin flip. Because not because I don't think Sony would want him or that Marvel would want him, but he's done 3 of these movies.
Yeah.
It might be good for him to move on to something else. Like, I don't know, Fantastic Four, which he's not doing now, but or apparently a Star Wars show. Yeah. I mean, that's not bad either. It's time for him to move on to something else. But still, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we do find out that Sony and Marvel end up enticing him to come back to do a 4th one and whatever. So, couple things from this. It looks like if he's talking about it now, says we hope to get moving on this soon, I think we're going to hear about Spider-Man 4 moving and getting in production a lot sooner than we were expecting, because I was expecting a little bit of a break. I think we may hear about something official by the end of the year, which I never would have thought that before hearing what Rothman is saying here. Obviously, I do believe that we're going to see Tom Holland back. We're going to see Zendaya back. We're going to see Jacob Bartolone back as Ned, who is like, he's kind of becoming my hero. I love him. And again, John Watts coming back, to me, it's a coin toss. When you, in the pandemic era, what is it, like the fifth or sixth biggest box office film in the history of mankind?
Yep.
Second biggest opening weekend in the history of the box office. I mean, that's going to bring people back. Paychecks are going to rise. More money's going to be thrown around. Everybody's going to be happy. And like I said, I don't think they're going to be in front of cameras by the end of the year, but I think we're going to get some official announcements by the end of the year. Chris, you hear the statement from Rothman saying we're hoping to get everybody back, blah, blah. What do you think's going to happen here?
Oh, I think everyone is going to come back. 1, because money. We love money. 2, I think a lot of people thought that Tom wasn't going to return because of half a quote in a GQ article.
Yes.
And no one listens to the other half. So the first half was, I think I'm doing something wrong if I'm playing Spider-Man after 30. And then the second part of the quote is, you know what? I might do Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6, finish when I'm 32, and never make another. I'm not sure what I want to do. So he still said, I'm going to probably make more Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
I just might stop in my early 30s, so I'm not playing Peter Parker for that long. And I think we should then bring in Miles Morales or something else like that. I'm just spitballing right here is basically kind of how that was. And everyone took it as scripture. Oh, Tom Holland's going to be done after 30. He's also only 25, y'all. So that's 5 years before he's 30. It's time to make some movies. And he loves playing Peter Parker. He loves doing this. Seeing him go to hospitals as Peter, doing his American dialect still, just going and visiting kids. He loves playing this character. This is how he met Zendaya, you know. He loves hanging out with all the people in these films, too. I think he really enjoys playing this part. And who wouldn't? They're great scripts. They've been excellent stories. And we finally finished his origin story, right? That's what these 3 films were about, was telling a different kind of origin story that sets Peter up for that kind of more adult life of him struggling to make ends meet in New York City, working for the Daily Bugle. Maybe that's not the way they're going to go, but struggling to be a photographer and selling pictures of Spider-Man. You know, there's so many possibilities here. I think it would have been absolutely boneheaded if they didn't continue on with this story. And I think everyone on board knows that.
I will say this, though. While I completely agree with everything you said,
there's a but.
There's a but. But would it be the end of the world if they recast him?
No, we've had 2 others and we loved them.
Exactly, right? Because when the Tobey Maguire ones were coming to an end, I remember very clearly the outpouring of support for Tobey, obviously, and rightfully so. But we will never watch Spider-Man again unless it's Tobey Maguire. Yeah, you will.
And then we had chaotic Spider-Man come in and we were like, hi.
Yeah, and then so Andrew Garfield comes in as Spider-Man, and everybody not everybody loved those Spider-Man movies, but everybody really supported them, and that was great. And then they said, well, okay, now we're rebooting it again. And to which a lot of people said, really? We're rebooting again? All right. And Tom Holland came in. Now it's hard to imagine anybody other than Tom Holland doing it. But if for some reason Tom Holland decided he wasn't going to do it again, you know what? We'd be okay. Don't get me wrong. I want Tom Holland to continue to play Spider-Man for a while. One of the great things about getting him as young as they did was that he could play this role for another 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm totally down with that. I'm just saying that if they didn't, it'll be the same pattern repeated again. Everybody will cry and scream, no, well, Holland, hashtag Holland is Spider-Man, blah, blah, all that. But then they'll get another great performer to play it, and then we'll all get on board with that. And then 15 years from now, Tom Holland will come back in a multiverse movie as another dimension Spider-Man, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm saying I think we're going to get an official announcement by the end of the year, which I never would have said that before. Mm-hmm. Do you think we will?
I think so, especially with the success of the last film.
Right.
I think people are chomping at the bit for more Spider-Man, especially where we did leave off. How does Spider-Man factor back into the Avengers? Right? How does he exist within the greater MCU? Does he exist within the greater MCU? Or are we done with that part? What is he going to do now? Is he going to get MJ back? There's so many questions. I think people really, really want this movie to be in production tomorrow. And I think, too, with that idea of that timeline, I think all the execs behind this as well are going to be like, let's make sure we get these movies where they need to be, quality films, of course. But, there is a time limit, it feels, on how long you can have somebody like Tom who does most of their own stunts, right? All that physical work, all those back handsprings and stuff that he brings to the table. There's a timeline there. That's a young man's game. So I think they're going to want to start cranking out these movies.
Well, and here's where it gets interesting, too. With the arrangement between Sony and Marvel, mm-hmm. I have a feeling Sony's going to want this movie made sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel might be, we've got like 10 other projects we're working on right now. Sony is probably give them a little stick. Punk's like, that's great, but if you want this agreement to keep going, we need one sooner rather than that.
Well, they need an MCU, or they need a Marvel win over at Sony, right?
What, Morbius wasn't that win?
Apparently. Morbius.
What? What are you saying, that Morbius didn't change the landscape of the cinematic universe?
Despite being a cinematic masterpiece. Oh my gosh. Crushing all that blue blood.
Oh my God.
They really need us to have some faith in that. I still like the Venom films. I think those are fun.
Oh, I love the Venom films.
I think they're really, really fun.
Hopefully Craven will knock it out of the park, too.
I hope so, but I think they need to keep Spider-Man and keep just churning it out so we all go, oh yeah, Sony can handle superhero movies well as well.
Well, it'll be interesting how that goes. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about these comments from the heads of Sony saying, yeah, we want to get moving on new Spider-Man. We're looking to bring in everybody back. Do you think everybody will be back? Do you think we will hear about a new film sooner rather than later? Or do you think we're going to have to wait a couple more years? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we're going to take a break for a second because we're going to hear from the sponsor of today's episodes, our good friends at Mint Mobile. Guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. You know, the one with the delightful ads with good Canadian kid Ryan Reynolds. So look, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't a catch. And guys, that's no joke because for years I've been using one of the major providers and it was fine. But I switched over to Mint Mobile a little while ago. The service has been fantastic. And the big difference is I'm now paying about 1/3 of what I was paying before. And the best part for anybody who just hates their phone bills is that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And a big thank you to our friends at Mint Mobile for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Guys, what I said in that, I was not kidding. I have literally, my phone bill has been cut to 1/3 of what it was before. Amazing. I took a trip up to Canada, took it with me, worked great in Canada. Anyway, guys, Go and check it out, mintmobile.com/Campea. Remember, guys, when you support our sponsors, you're actually supporting our show, so make sure you go and check that out. I don't think you will be sorry that you did. All right, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what is our second main topic today?
Our second topic comes from Ro Jones. Well, about a month later, we're getting our second trailer to Thor Love and Thunder tonight during Game 4. Apparently, per Chris Hemsworth via his own Instagram, this trailer is going to blow your mind. That leads me to ask, what can we expect from tonight's trailer? Hints how Mjolnir is reforged, first look at Gore, more of an understanding of the story? Bring on the thunder.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And look, after the Batman and the Northman, now that those are in my rearview mirror, my number one most anticipated movie of the year right now is Thor Love and Thunder. Number one, because I have loved this franchise since the first film directed by the great Kenneth Branagh. I think Thor, the first one directed by Kenneth Branagh, is the second most underrated comic book film of all time, second only to Man of Steel, of course. But I love that film. In Thor the Dark World. But we move past Thor the Dark World and we get into Thor Ragnarok as Taika Waititi came in, took over. That movie is bonkers entertaining and fun and enjoyable. And it made Chris Hemsworth fall in love with the character again, which was great to see. I loved it. And then since then, we've seen Taika Waititi direct some Mandalorian, which he did great on. Most importantly, directing Jojo Rabbit, which won him an Academy Award. The dude is just incredible what he can do. And we're so excited to hear that he's coming back. And they dropped the first teaser. And it was fun. It was a good first teaser. Didn't really tell us anything, but that's what a first teaser's for. But we said when it came out, we're going to get the second trailer in record time because they didn't drop the first trailer until like 2 months before the movie came out. So we're going to see it soon. And now we are. The second trailer for Thor comes out tonight. It's going to be playing as they have done with some of their really big trailers with a big sporting event. I think it's during Game 4. What is it the Celtics Heat game? Is that the one they're doing it with?
I thought it was the Warriors. Hold on.
I think it's for the East, though.
Okay.
I think, and if it is for the East, it's going to be with, but I can't remember. We'll see. But it's dropping
during one of the games.
Yeah, it's during one of the games. But it's dropping tonight. Now, Chris Hemsworth got on social media to herald the coming of this trailer. And he said some pretty interesting things in this video spot he put up on his Instagram. This is what Chris Hemsworth had to say. He said the following. Huge announcement. The official trailer for Thor Love and Thunder is out tomorrow. Of course, he posted this up yesterday. Do not miss it. Spread the word. Spread the love. This trailer will blow your mind. It is something that I am so proud of. This film is incredible. I cannot wait for fans to see it. It is the greatest thing that I have ever had the pleasure and honor of working on.
Damn.
And I cannot wait for you to see it. Let me read that last part again. It is the greatest thing that I have ever had the pleasure and honor of working on. And I can't wait for you to see it. And that's saying something because he worked on a panel with me once.
Dang.
So if he's saying this is even better, I mean, that's saying a lot. All right, 2 things to visit here. Number 1, when he says, well, actually, let's get the water wet part out of it. Chris Hemsworth says, this movie is incredible. A huge honor. I have never worked on anything better. Okay. Actor says their new movie is great.
Yeah.
In other news, water wet. Okay. But still, you know, even with that asterisk, that, hey, it's an actor promoting his own film. We get that. When you watch this video of him on his social media, he's pretty enthusiastic about this. And just the fact that he would want to get on social media to announce the coming of a new trailer. I mean, hey, does it mean everything? No. Does it mean something? I think it means something to see him that enthusiastic about this and to say, hey, listen, this guy has worked on Endgame and Infinity War and Thor Ragnarok and all that kind of stuff. This is the best thing I've ever worked on. Okay, big words. We'll see if he can back it up. Let's go to the first part of what he's talking about, saying that this trailer is incredible and it will blow you all away. The trailer? The trailer will blow us away. To me, this means one thing and one thing only. They're going to show gore.
Yeah.
And they're going to show gore. Now, of course, those of us in the room, everybody in this room here, Ray, Chris, me, Rob, who is not here, we have already seen gore. And I love what we've seen. And I'm excited for everybody else to finally get a look at Gore the God Butcher. I think that's going to be exciting. But I really can't imagine what else it is unless there's a surprise in the trailer. Beta Ray Bill? Steve Rogers? I literally don't know. Loki, who is not supposed to be in this movie at all. I mean, so on the one hand, I'm thinking, okay, what makes sense that will blow us away? Obviously, it's Gore the God Butcher, actually finally showing us Academy Award winner Christian Bale, dressed up as he is. He looks terrifying to me. Can't wait to see it in there. There's that. But maybe he means blow away as far as a surprise go. Well, what could surprise us? I think the only thing that could constitute a major surprise that Chris Hemsworth can legitimately say this will blow everybody away, if you are a Thor fan, is Beta Ray Bill. So I'm not sitting here telling you we're going to get Beta Ray Bill in this trailer. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm speculating. Like if he's saying that, maybe this, maybe that. But I cannot believe that now going into the main trailer that they're not going to show a score. I have to believe we're getting that. Anyway, Chris, you hear Chris say those two things.
Yeah.
You hear him say, this is the greatest thing I've ever worked on. Number two, this trailer is going to blow everybody away. What do you think about each of those statements?
I mean, I'm kind of with you on the, wow, an actor promoting things. That's wild. Because in the moment, we're never like, this movie's dog shit. Don't go to theaters and see it. Maybe some people are, but most of us like to keep our jobs and keep getting paid. So I do have high hopes for this, though. I love Taika Waititi's work. I think this is going to be really, really fun. The fact that the trailer is going to blow us away, though, I'm with you. There has to be something really, really fantastic here happening. I love that someone in the chat said that incredible, Hulk confirmed.
That's right. That means it.
And
confirmed Hulk is there.
Honestly, I mean, Bruce is in everything. So maybe we'll
Bruce
have
and
more
Wong.
Bruce. Maybe that'll kind of be our tie-in to She-Hulk of how he has mastered, the transformation thing again, right?
Yeah.
That could be a thing in there. Some other people are saying maybe Adam Warlock. We could have a whole lot of things in the trailer that could be really, really cool. I'm thinking, though, it is going to be some gore stuff. I don't think we'll see any proper god butchery. I think they're going to save that for the film.
Right.
Or we're going to see some really, really dope stuff with Mighty Thor. I want to see more of what Natalie is bringing to the table in this. And I think maybe we'll get more of that dynamic. And I think we'll get a tonal shift in this trailer, too. Because the last one was super fun, super exciting, great 80s vibes with Trouba Thor, right?
Yeah.
I think we're going to start off with that same pep in the step, all that golden retriever energy. And then we're going to have a hard left turn showing us that this movie is going to get dark, because that's what Taika does really, really well, is balancing those two kind of dichotomies.
Yeah, and again, we go back to Thor Ragnarok, right? And again, which I think is one of the most misinterpreted or misrepresented movies in the MCU, because everybody just thinks it's just a funny comedy. And while it is hilarious and it's definitely got comedy aspects, it's also, other than Infinity War, it is the darkest movie the MCU's ever done. Again, Thor loses an eye. He loses Mjolnir. Asgard is destroyed. The All-Father Odin dies. The death of his sister. I mean, it's loaded with dark, heavy stuff. Do you think we're going to get a shot in the video of the trailer that we saw in that still image of King Valkyrie and Mighty Thor sitting? Do you think we're going to get a little glimpse at that scene since they released the image of it?
That would make sense.
That would be
and I'd love to
great.
know what's happening there, too, especially since we know that there's another god featured and everything, right? We've got that little sneak peek of Bass, that statue,
Yep.
right? So I would like to know if that is, a big tribunal amongst a myriad of gods, or if that is something that is just for some Asgardians. I think we're going to learn a little bit more about that dynamic, too. Good call, John.
I think that would be great to
Yeah.
see. I want to ask Ray about
Oh,
this.
don't ask me about anything. No.
So we got Chris Hemsworth saying, number one, that the trailer is going to blow you away tonight. He says, number two, this is the best thing he's ever worked on. It's the most incredible thing he's ever worked on. What do you think about either of those two things? And what are you expecting to see out of this trailer tonight?
Are we going to actually try to catch it during the game? I mean, how many people are actually going to try to catch it live during the game?
I gotta try to.
I'm just going to wait until they upload it. I mean,
Same.
it's going to be...
Well, it's going to be uploaded 5 seconds after it
Yeah,
plays
so-
during the game. Yeah, for sure.
Thor, I'm going to see it. Is someone asked in the chat what my most anticipated movie was, and they thought it would be Thor, but it's really not. I mean, it's...
For you, it's got to be Creed, right?
It's got to be Creed or Nope. Like, those are, like, especially Nope, because, like, we haven't seen anything, like, there's no Nope 1, Nope 2. So of course you're anticipating something you're not familiar with. But with Thor, we've already had 3 Thors, and the last Thor was great. So this one's gonna be good too. I have no doubt. The trailer, I just hope they don't show too much. I mean, like I've always said before, I'm not a fan of knowing too much about a movie. If I see something that I like, then I'll go see it. You don't have to give me any more than I've already bought into this movie.
But
so.
that's interesting though, because I think a lot of times today, you can't really tell if a trailer has shown you too much because you don't actually know. Because I remember there have been MCU trailers that have come out and people said they just showed us everything, and then you saw the movie and you realize, oh, everything in that trailer was just in the first 20 minutes of the movie. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what approach they take.
Let me pose a question for you. Let's say they didn't show that second multiverse trailer where we hear Professor X,
Right.
and then everyone goes to go see it. Of course, people are gonna post it on Twitter, whatever. Do you think that would have made the movie more money if they didn't?
Oh, no. It never would have made, I'm going to tell you right now.
Or do you think showing that part made it more money?
Showing that part made it more money. Because I'll tell you what, before that trailer came out with the Professor X cameo in it, right? Nobody was talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I remember we even had questions coming to the show saying, I'm just not feeling any buzz for Doctor Strange. And that was it. It was flat. Like some people were excited just because it's MCU. But then all of a sudden, once that trailer came out, everybody was talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, by putting that in the trailer, even though I don't think Kevin Feige was super thrilled they put it in the trailer, it did make them a lot more money, like no doubt. So we'll see how that's going to influence things when we get the new Thor, because Kevin Feige doesn't get to, unlike when he was under Big Papa Iger, Kevin Feige doesn't get to veto what doesn't go into the trailers anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what they put in there. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Chris Hemsworth's comments here? Number one, that this trailer is going to blow us away. What do you think that means? Also, he says, this is the greatest thing I've ever worked on. Oh, look, an actor saying their movie is great. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This is from Rory Barraclough. Hey, John and crew, did you see the new trailer for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning? There wasn't much dialogue, which was weird, but the action looks awesome and made for a great trailer overall, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on the trailer, and where's your anticipation for the film?
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. When we were in CinemaCon, first of all, this CinemaCon was so good. It was such a good CinemaCon. Everything from the full screenings of The Black Phone, which we've got to talk about more in depth at some point here, a full screening of Top Gun Maverick, which was so good, 30 full minutes of Lightyear, 20 minutes of Doctor Strange, just a
15
ton.
of Bob's Burgers, I think.
15 of Bob's Burgers, like just so much stuff they showed us. One of the things that got a lot of people very excited was the trailer for Mission Impossible. What's it called? Dead Reckoning?
Dead Reckoning Part
Part
1.
1, yeah. I don't think a great title, but who cares? A title doesn't make a movie
Rob
any better
loves
anyway.
that title.
I know he does. He lost his mind for the title, but it's whatever. It's a title. That's fine. They dropped that trailer, and you guys probably heard us talk about it if you followed our coverage of CinemaCon. And like we all really enjoyed it quite a bit. So now they've released it. And yes, this trailer, some people were asking me this morning, is the trailer that dropped now the one they showed us at CinemaCon? The answer to that question is yes. This is the exact trailer they showed us at CinemaCon. Couple of notes. I think the trailer looks great. Again, that whole thing about the stakes seem to continue to get higher. We're talking about defining what is the truth for centuries to come. It's like, okay, so there's some kind of Illuminati thing going on here. Don't know, whatever. And then we see him running around. You know what's funny though? Did you guys see that story where Laura Dern was talking about the fact that there was a romantic relationship or interest in a romantic thing in the original Jurassic Park between, what's her character's name? Nellie or?
Dr. Ellie.
Ellie, that's it.
Can't remember her last name.
Between Ellie and Sam Neill's character was completely inappropriate. She's saying it was actually completely inappropriate because there's like a 20 years age difference. So I heard that, and then I'm watching this trailer again. It's like, yeah, there's like a 22-year age difference between Rebecca Ferguson and Tom Cruise, but whatever, it is what it is. It shows the action great. Of course, you knew they were going to show you a clip of that big stunt at the end. For you guys who haven't seen it, that shot at the end of the trailer where Tom Cruise rides the motorcycle off the big cliff and goes falling down. Number one, that is Tom Cruise. And that is no CGI. That's no visual effects. That's actually him doing it because they showed us the behind the scenes of them doing it. And they did it like 20 times of literally him getting helicoptered back up to the top of the cliff. They had built a big ramp for him, packing a parachute on himself, and then driving a motorcycle at 80 miles an hour off a cliff like 20 times. It was like crazy. So it's got that hallmark in there of Tom Cruise. The older he gets, the less he cares if he dies, I suppose, because he's doing crazier and crazier shit. So the trailer is great. The one thing I will say that did not work for me in the trailer, and again, it's a first trailer, so I don't really care that we didn't get a lot of the story yet. They can save that for another trailer. It was bad music for a trailer. And it's, I did a documentary called Movie Trailers, A Love Story. Go and find it today. And we specifically talk about the last Mission Impossible trailer. And one of the great things that really makes your heart pound to it is the music. Dun, 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 dun. Like with every beat, there's an action beat visually going with the music. And it's just like, it just draws you in and it's just absolutely killer. And I'm watching this trailer and all I could think about was they really laid an egg on their music selection with this because the music is not heightening the intensity of the trailer that I think they're going for. Listen, overall, still a very good trailer. I'm super excited for the new movie. I just thought maybe the trailer could have a different music selection. You saw it a few weeks ago at CinemaCon. Watch it again here today. What are your thoughts on the new trailer?
I mean, honestly, the music I'm not even paying attention to because you give me Haley Atwell. I'm just like zoned in. You give me Simon Pegg. I'm really, really happy. The stunts are bananas in this trailer. Tom Cruise, earlier I was like, stunts are a young man's game. Tom Cruise he's not a human. I mean, the fact that he does all of these stunts, their insurance has to be just bonkers on these films. Oh my gosh.
Is there something wrong at home, Tom?
Tom, you okay?
Put me on a motorcycle.
Why are you driving up mountains, Tom? It looks amazing, though. And the fact that there's a lack of dialogue here, one, I mean, this is our first look at this particular installment. And two, are you going to see the Mission Impossible films for the dialogue? Are you there for the really heady conversations in the room? I'm not. I am there for the action. And that's what this trailer delivers. So I think it's doing exactly what it should be doing. I'm going to have to go back and listen again and see if the music does perturb me as much as you and the rest of the chat here. Because everything else, I was just sucked into it. I loved it.
Well, listen, this comes to us from the folks over Variety who give their own definition of it. They said the following: although the trailer doesn't reveal much about the plot of the film, it provides a first look of several new actors to the franchise, including Haley Atwell, the aforementioned, and new character Grace and Isai Morales as the film's primary villain. Several action set pieces are teased, including a sniper battle during a desert storm. By the way, yes, that looked awesome, by the way. A fist fight in a nightclub and a chase atop a moving train. The trailer closes with a shot of Cruise, famous for doing his own stunts in the franchise, driving a motorcycle off a cliff and skydiving into the air below. Dead Reckoning is written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who previously helmed Rogue Nation and Fallout, which is another reason to be excited about this. And if you guys didn't hear us talk about this before, at CinemaCon, as they're introducing the Top Gun presentation, Tom Cruise wasn't able to be there in person. So the head of the studio came out and said Tom Cruise wanted to be here, and he has come to CinemaCon many times. He wanted to be here, but they're very, very busy working on the 2 Mission Impossible films. But he wanted to send this message. And it cuts, the big screen opens up, and you see Tom Cruise, which I thought he was sitting on top of a deck or something, right? In the middle of a windstorm. I just thought it was really windy. It's like, hey, everybody, wish I could be there. And then as the camera pans back, Tom Cruise is sitting on the top of a wing of one of those biplanes.
Yep.
He's just sitting on top of a wing
like he's
as
Sonic
this
the
plane
Hedgehog.
is flying 20,000 feet above the ground, kind of holding on. It's like, I really wish I could be there, but we're hard at work and blah, blah, blah. And then another biplane flies up next to him, and it's Christopher McQuarrie, the writer and director, flying the plane himself, going, Tom, we're losing daylight. We got to get back and start shooting. And Tom Cruise turns back there. Okay, guys, got to go. See you later. And he's just on top of this plane, just sitting there, holding on to the wing. The plane goes, and it does this nosedive as he's just hanging off the edge of this plane. And all of us are sitting in this theater going, what the fuck? is he doing? I get it if you're trying to make this scene for your $200 million film. This is you sending a hello message to a bunch of people sitting in a theater in Las Vegas. This dude has lost some of his mind. All right. And I'm here to enjoy it because him losing his mind has been pretty fun so far. I don't know. Anyway, guys.
John, I got an idea for you
boy.
For your very first TikTok video. You know what we're going to do. You know how to bring the show into the,
the stratosphere, the heights.
Do it, John.
You want me in a plane?
Yeah, well, you're the main guy.
John
on
will
the
barely
show.
get on a commercial
It has
plane.
to be you.
Just me getting onto a commercial plane is a big deal. I have a fear of
Your
heights.
dedication.
Really?
I have a fear of heights.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know when I developed it because when I was like 18, 19, I had no fear of heights. And then somewhere like when I was like 22, 23, I realized, holy shit, I have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
And like and I fly, I do. And if you would sit beside me on a plane,
Yep,
you think,
I have.
oh, you have.
I have.
I look all calm and cool, but in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
the whole time. Like I really don't like flying.
They're you can't be blamed for
I just
having
have
a fear of flying. I do too.
falling.
Yeah, no, I have a fear of heights. Yeah. I still remember I was talking to my girlfriend's mother one time, and she said, well, do you get nervous during landing? I'm like, no, I love landing. The only time I can look out the window on a plane is when we're starting our descent, because every time I peek quick, I know we're closer to the ground. I said, I love landing. She said, well, 90% of airplane incidents happen during landing.
This is why I get scared on the landing.
And I'm like, lady, when those tires hit the ground, this plane can spin out, flip over. I don't care. I'm on the ground. It's all good. I don't care as long as I'm on the ground. It's all good. I really don't care. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the new Mission Impossible trailer? It's pretty good. I wish it had better music selection, but maybe you thought it was perfect for it. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 4. Chris, what is our 4th main topic today?
This one comes from Vanish. Hello, John and team. Well, there's a new #1 movie of the year. Up until this weekend, the biggest movie of the year was Matt Reeves' The Batman, but that title has now passed to Doctor Strange. What do you think is the significance of Doctor Strange being the #1 film, and which of the two movies, The Batman and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, is the better movie overall? Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Vanish, for sending that in. And yes, so kind of tucked away in the headlines today is that for a 3rd week in a row, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness took the #1 spot at the box office. I believe number 2 was Downton Abbey, A New Era, which Ann and I went to go see Downton Abbey, A New Era.
How was it?
It was delightful.
Okay.
It was really nice. Made $16 million.
Nice.
Not bad.
Did Anne dress up?
What's that?
Did Anne go in costume?
No, I think she would have if I would have, but
Okay.
that ain't going to happen. So, but we went dun, 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 dun. Anyway, Maggie Smith is awesome. I'll go watch Maggie Smith in anything. But it was delightful. Came in 2nd place, but it made another $31 million domestically. More notably, though, it crossed the $800 million mark. And in doing so, it has surpassed The Batman as the #1 film. Now we're getting close to 6 months at this point. It is now past The Batman as the #1 film of the year. This comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant who wrote the following. As reported by Variety, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has spent its 3rd week at the top of the domestic and international box office charts, earning $342 million in North America and $461 million in the international markets. In total, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has now surpassed over $800 million in its complete box office gross since its release on May 6th, making it the highest grossing film of 2022 so far. Multiverse of Madness surpassed the previous holder of the top spot, The Batman, by an estimated $35 million in its overall box office gross. And again, that comes to us from the folks at Screen Rant. All right, so what is the significance of this? Well, number 1, it's another big triumphant win for Marvel, another ho-hum, another $800 million film. It'll probably cross 900. I don't think it'll hit $1 billion. It's just now in its 3rd week. We're going into its 4th week. It still has 200 million more to go, or 195, whatever to go. I don't see it quite hitting $1 billion, which is fine. It far surpassed the original Doctor Strange, and it is the #1 film of the year. This is, whatever way you want to cut it for Marvel and Disney, this is a big win for them. It's fantastic for them. Now, the question about the movie it surpassed, The Batman. This is not terribly surprising Because again, we talked about this when we were trying to compare, when people were trying to compare the Batman to Spider-Man No Way Home. It's like, guys, look, Spider-Man No Way Home, it's Spider-Man. It's family friendly. It's cool. Now, there's some darker stuff in Spider-Man No Way Home for sure, but you looked at the Batman trailers and the Batman was dun, 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 and flaming cars and nightmarish images of this creature coming out of the dark and the Penguin is hanging upside down in his car going, ah! Like this was never going to be a movie that was going to hit the Spider-Man. You like that?
There's so much of that in that movie.
There's so much in that movie. There really is. This was never going to be a movie that was going to make Spider-Man kind of money, right? Mm-hmm. And so now, granted, while Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was also far from family friendly, I mean, we ran into traumatized kids coming out of this.
That poor little boy.
That poor little boy. We ran into some traumatized children coming out of that movie. But still, it looks like a Marvel film, right? And the Batman didn't. So I don't think there's any real surprise here that Doctor Strange surpassed the Batman at the box office. Not a surprise. Which of the two films do I think is the better overall film? Well, listen, I've seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness thrice. So I've seen it 3 times now. For those of you who don't know what thrice means. I've seen it 3 times. Why did you have to repeat that? I don't know. So I've seen it trois times. Little French there for you, for my Canadian friends. And it, to me, got better every time I saw it. Still not top tier MCU to me. Like it does not break into that same category for me as, say, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Shang-Chi,
Sonic 2.
What's that? Sonic 2,
That's up there for me.
with the little MCU tie in there, Sonic 2. It does not for me break into that top tier thing, but it rests pretty comfortably in that mid tier.
Yeah.
Where I have other films like Doctor Strange, even though I think the first Doctor Strange was a little bit better than this one, but still I put in that same tier as Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, films I quite enjoy, but not top shelf MCU. The Batman, though, that's a special film. A little bit too long, dragged out a little bit, yes, all that, but I thought the Batman was a wonderful reimagining again of the character, a much grittier, more down to earth, grounded kind of thing. I thought Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson absolutely knocked it out of the park. So while I have no qualms saying I enjoyed both of these films, I love that we've gotten both of these films this year. But yeah, I'm going to say that the better film is the Batman. I mean, at least to me. Anyway, Chris, Doctor Strange has passed 800 million, number 1 for the 3rd week in a row. It's now the number 1 movie of the year at the box office. What kind of significance do you see in that? What does that mean for Marvel? What should they take away from it? And what do you think is the better movie? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or the movie that it just passed at the box office, The Batman? How do you see it?
Well, I think what this means for Marvel is that we do still have that momentum, right? Even though some people, and rightly so, feel like Phase 4 has been kind of a bit of a fizzle.
I'm one of them.
I think it shows that they still are drawing people into the theaters, right? We still want to know what's happening next in these stories. And I think compared to the Batman, right, going into it, even though we all knew Sam Raimi was the director, people thought this was a much more family-friendly film, your more typical MCU fare, than something like the Batman. And that's why we have seen these numbers trickle down, I think, because then it's, hey, don't bring your kid. Don't bring your kid with their Wanda toy to this, guys. It's not going to be a fun night home. And that's why I agree with you. I don't think it's going to hit those kind of billion numbers. But of the two films, The Batman is a better movie. That being said, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is more fun. So I'm going to watch that one probably with more regularity than the Batman. Right. I don't always want to watch Seven. I want to see it every now and then, but it's not a go-to feel-good movie where I'm like, I'm going to go home, put on my Charizard onesie and feel nice. No, I'm going to watch something like Spider-Man No Way Home. I do have it. And that's also because
nobody watching this show has any doubt that that's
everyone's
true.
like, that tracks. That's on brand. Like, everyone who watches this with regularity knows I am not a big horror film, but I love stylized violence. So things like Sam Raimi's work, I adore. I'm a big Evil Dead fan. I love this kind of stuff. I love those Dutch tilts and weird camera angles that he brings to the table.
Did you ever see Drag Me to Hell?
No.
That's a fun one.
Okay.
I think you watched that one, didn't you, Ray? I think.
Yeah. I actually really like that.
Would
movie.
I like that,
Yeah,
Ray?
Drag Me to Hell's really good.
Oh no,
I would hate it.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think
Chris,
so.
no, not,
okay.
not a Chris Carr
There's
kind of.
just
No.
a lot of creepy stuff.
Is there
in
eye
that-
violence?
And it just stays mentally with you.
can't-
Some of the images that you get from it. Yeah.
I can't remember any eye violence, but yeah, no,
Okay.
that freaks you out a lot.
The contact lens in Batman. I was like, ugh, no. So I think that's the movie I would watch more is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but the Batman is objectively a better movie.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Doctor Strange is number one at the box office 3 week in a row, crossed $800 million, and become the number one box office film of the year. What significance do you think that means for Marvel? What signals does that send? And what do you think is the better movie, that one or the one that it passed, the Batman? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Okay, guys. With that down, let's move on to our fifth and final main topic today. Chris, what is main topic number 5?
This one comes from Antagonistic Anonymous. Hey, John and Co. A Disney Plus poll surveying patrons about upcoming MCU releases featured a Fantastic Four poster which displayed Krasinski and Blunt as Reed and Sue. Well, this could be in place to have an image as a placeholder. Furthermore, executive producer Victoria Alonso took it to Instagram to post a clip of Krasinski and Blunt talking about joining MCU, something she has never acknowledged or posted before. John, is it just me, or are the stars starting to align more and more for Krasinski and maybe Blunt to be the fantastic couple? What do you think?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. And yeah, listen, it has been, I think, I could be wrong. I will double check this. So, guys in the live chat, fact check me on this. But I think it was around my 16th birthday that the first reports of John Krasinski being in the Fantastic Four started coming out. I think it was around my 16th birthday, maybe 17th. Those rumors and talks have been around for a long time, like a very long time. For years that has been around. It has been like the ultimate dream casting of a lot of people. They want to see John Krasinski as Reed Richards. They want to see Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, the mega power couple, maybe the most celebrated, beloved couple in Hollywood right now. They want to see them in this thing and going crazy and all that kind of stuff. And there it is. Now, obviously, without giving too much away, but everybody knows now, we got a little taste of that in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Just a little taste. Got people excited. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be it moving forward. So here's what happened. A poll was put out for Disney Plus subscribers, asking about, upcoming Disney and Marvel projects coming out, and what is it that they are excited about. Jonathan, maybe you can bring that up on screen here. Let's bring up the website, and we'll scroll down a little bit. You'll be able to see, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the actual question. I think it's a little bit lower. There it is. So they put out this poll. This is a clip that was taken from Twitter of the poll that was sent out to Disney Plus subscribers. So you're looking forward to Ms. Marvel, which uses the official logo. What's the one underneath that? I can't quite see it from here. It's something.
Armor Wars?
Armor Wars. Okay, so Armor Wars. And then for Fantastic Four, they use an image, a fan-made poster, by the way, that came out a couple of years ago of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, and also in the poster, a little bit off to the side, is Zac Efron as Johnny Storm. So let's go back up to the top of the page there, Jonathan, which you can see in the thing there. So we say it's official. This is happening. Now, here's the thing. On its own, I would look at that and simply say, well, the company that put the poll together, there is no official artwork really from, well, that's not true. There is official artwork from the Fantastic Four because they brought up a piece of artwork when Kevin Feige made the announcement. At any rate. So maybe we're being a little bit lazy. They grabbed a piece of fan art, slid it in there. Okay, maybe. Yep, maybe. But to coincide with that, Antagonistic Anonymous brings up a very interesting point. One of the top execs, one of Kevin Feige's main lieutenants, one of the top execs of Marvel, Victoria Alonso, she got on her Instagram the other day. I think it was the same day that this poll went out. And she shared a clip from, what's that UK talk show? Is it Norton Graham?
Yeah.
or Graham Norton?
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. Okay. Is it Carson Johnny? Yes, it's Carson Johnny. Graham Norton show, right? This clip of the Graham Norton show with Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, and John Krasinski telling the story of when he was auditioning for Captain America. And he's telling the story about how I was there. I couldn't believe it. Tom Holland was on the show with him. He says, I couldn't believe it. I'm putting on this iconic costume. And he turns to Tom Holland. You know what I'm talking about. He goes, I'm putting on this iconic costume and I'm feeling really good about myself. He said, then Chris Hemsworth came in the room dressed like Thor. He says, you doing all right? And John Krasinski goes, nope, no, I'm not. And he took the costume off and whatever. Look, put the tinfoil hat on me all you want. 2 years ago, I would have said none of this means anything. None of this means anything. Today, seeing how more and more the machine at Marvel very subtly starts to manipulate the news cycle, very subtly starts to drop hints. Am I sitting here saying that I 100% buy into this notion that John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are going to be our Reed Richards and Sue Storm? No, I'm not. But I am also no longer in the business of just quickly discounting the fact that this survey accidentally put in some fan poster on the same day that one of the top execs at Marvel just puts out a clip of John Krasinski talking about joining the MCU.
Yeah.
It seems to me like modern Marvel, this is something that they would do. So again, am I sitting here telling you, take it to the bank, definitive, tickle my testicle and call me Cletus? No, I am not saying that at all. That if bonus points to you if you know the movie reference, by the way. I am definitely not saying that at all. I'm just saying I am no longer quickly going to discount it because it is kind of weird when you look at it. Anyway, Chris, we see the poll that went out. All the other proper artwork was used for things, and then some fan poster gets made to put it in there. But then Victoria Alonso just happens to, out of nowhere, randomly, same day, share this clip of John Krasinski talking about joining the MCU. Tinfoil hat time, fire where there's smoke. I don't know. How do you interpret this whole thing?
I feel like there's a fire brewing it. It's there. It's there. When people leave you breadcrumbs like this, I feel like we're almost being spoon-fed. Perhaps a spoonful of sugar, if you will, here, that these people are going to be in this film, right? Everyone is really, really keen on John Krasinski in this role. They love the idea of having a real couple in that. And also, as someone who's worked for Disney, I don't think you can make this kind of mistake and have it go onto the internet, live to see another day. The Disney Gestapo will get you. All right, they will put you down. All right, I worked in the parks and you couldn't do this kind of stuff. Like everything there is so keenly done that I feel like someone had to really, really screw the pooch to put up a fan poster and leak something. I think this is all very, very intentional. And say what you will about the current powers that be at Disney, right? The Bob Chapeks and everything. I feel like this is a very, very strategic move that they're doing of let's just tantalize the fans. Let's just give them a little taste of, well, it was just a fan poster. I don't know. Do you guys like that? Do you like the Graham Norton clip? Is that something you're into? Yeah? Okay, well, maybe. They're just gearing you up to see if it's okay with you, right?
Right.
And so, oh no. Rob's gonna kill me.
You killed Rob's Obi-Wan. You killed Obi-Wan.
Oh, my Italian joke.
You bastard.
It's a bad sign. That's an old.
Luke's on the ground.
Everything's going to hell.
This week. Obi-Wan, baby.
He's fine. He's just taking a nap. It's okay.
I'm not watching Obi-Wan now.
Well, John did say, after my camera froze, and look now.
Now the camera's back.
There you go. I'm back, but Luke is dead.
All I had to do was destroy some
Oh,
property.
that's right. And he's carrying baby
He's carrying
Luke.
baby Luke.
Oh no! Shake the baby. Oh well.
Wow.
Okay.
There
Well,
we
hey,
go.
hey, producer Jonathan. Now that we've got a camera on,
Watch, it's gonna
look,
freeze.
just stupid, nothing meaning nothing coincidences or orchestrated, undermining manipulation by the Marvel crew. What do you think here?
I think it's a hybrid of both. I don't think that's going to be your couple, but I think they're using it to get chatter. So I think they're taking advantage of the hype, and they're dropping that information. But I don't think that is locked your couple. That's my 2 cents.
Ray, what do you think's going on here? You think they're leaving breadcrumbs? Does all this mean absolutely nothing? Do you think we're going to see Krasinski and Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm?
Maybe Krasinski. I don't think Blunt's going to be. I just think, I don't know. To me, I have a bad feeling about having a real couple play this role. You know, I have no reason for feeling that way. I just don't think it's going to work out as well as people think.
It's going to be the
I don't know.
eyes
It's
wide
just like,
shut of Marvel.
It's like, you know how LeBron wants to play with his son? Like, that's why he's still playing. It sounds good, but when that happens, don't be surprised if it turns out.
If it goes badly.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, I don't know.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm going to probably be in the minority here a little bit, trying desperately to fix Rob's hot toy now.
Somewhere he felt a shift in the universe.
Suddenly there was a great disturbance in the force.
Oh, Rob cried out.
As if Rob cried out in terror and suddenly silence.
Kitchen tonight, I tripped all of a sudden.
But I'm actually more down with Emily Blunt playing Sue Storm than even John Krasinski playing Reed Richards. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for John Krasinski playing Reed Richards. I am. If it is, if it isn't, that's fine. But if it does end up being him, I'm totally excited about that. That would be great. But I'd be even more excited about Emily Blunt playing it. Ever since that first rumor came up, and it's like, to me, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you got a talented actress. Emily Blunt is one of the best actresses in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you see the type of, first of all, the type of badassness she can bring to a All You Need Is Kill, Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, right? The name that sounds like a bad soap opera.
Yeah.
When you see the badassness she brings there, the charm and wit that she brings to a not great movie, but what's the Dwayne The Rock Johnson one?
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise,
She's
right.
delightful in that.
She is really delightful in that. You get those two elements and make her a Sue Storm. By the way, an age-appropriate Sue Storm.
Yep.
I think that could be super special. And if they do end up doing this, I think it's great. Listen, can I just talk to all my fellow fans here for a second? Let me just talk to all my fellow
It's your show,
fans.
man.
All right. Take a big shot. Take a big shot of aviation. Take a deep breath. And please hold your crap together if and when they announce Reed Richards and Sue Storm and it's not John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Can we please move past this whole thing? It can only be them. If it's not, we are going to weep tears in the streets of Egypt. No, look, if they do, great. But if they don't, everybody just take a breath and go, wow, they probably must have somebody else that's really perfect for the role. But we'll see how it goes.
You know how long these people spent on making these posters?
How long, Ray?
Man, they'll be irrelevant afterwards.
That's right. Can't let all that good hard work go to waste.
On, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, let's just, everybody take a breath that if it's not John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, Marvel doesn't always make the best movies all the time, but they always nail their casting.
I'm telling you right now, even the casting is not a thing they have to worry about. There's a lot of people I hear they don't even want a Fantastic Four movie.
Really?
Like, I mean, I guess maybe it's from the previous Fantastic Four movies. Maybe they just don't think it's something they like or want to watch. I don't know. But there's a lot of people.
We're learning our lessons.
Yeah.
We don't include dance sequences, and we don't do whatever that last one did.
Right.
By the way, Bran in the live chat is saying Snoop Dogg is Reed Richards. What's up, baby? I mean, I'm
Kevin
down.
Hart as Johnny Storm.
Tick, tick, boom. I mean, yeah, why not? I'm down. Anyway, guys,
No.
question is for you. What do you think about these seemingly unconnected, but are they connected sets of circumstances? Is it all just weird coincidence and kind of flukes? Is there some kind of orchestrated, coordinated effort going on behind the scenes to build up some hype? I don't know what the answer to it is. All I know is that I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand. What do you guys think about it? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we are now going to move into the live questions you guys have. And as such, we are now going to open up the super chats. The super chats are now open. If you've got a thought, question, comment, observation, theory that you'd like us to read on air, go ahead and fire that in. You only got a couple of minutes to do it. Then we have to shut it down. But send it on in and we will get to those after we hear from one of the other sponsors of today's show, the folks over at Athletic Greens. We want to take a minute and thank the sponsors of this video, Liquid IV. Now listen, just one stick of Liquid IV added to 16 ounces of water will hydrate you faster and more efficiently than just water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and of course vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. And what makes Liquid IV so effective is the science of cellular transport technology, or CTT. You see, it's designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into your bloodstream faster and more efficiently. You know, Ann and I get up pretty early in the morning to go to the gym because we can't go to the gym at any other time during the day. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been drinking 1 full glass of water with Liquid IV. And all I can tell you is you can feel the difference during the workout. So go and grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code Campea at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code Campea, that's Campea, at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today when you go to liquidiv.com, and remember, use the promo code at checkout, Campea. And thank you to our friends, well, both at Athletic Greens, but this week's sponsor, Liquid IV. Jonathan told me beforehand it's the Liquid IV spot, and I heard Athletic Greens in my head. Oh, well, it's all good stuff that you drink. Liquid IV. Thank you to the folks at Liquid IV. We've been taking and using it for a while. Thank you to them for sponsoring the show. And remember, guys, go on down to the description. You'll find links and promo codes to our sponsors like Mint Mobile and Liquid IV. And when you support our sponsors, you're actually supporting us at the show. So thank you to them again for supporting this episode. All right, guys, with that down, let's get on over and start taking your live questions that you guys have been throwing in there. So, Chris, what do we got?
We've got some support from Fredo. We've got Andy.
Fredo and Andy, thank you, guys.
What is Manscaped if not your balls persevering? What is it?
What is it at all? By the way, another one of the great sponsors of the show. Thank you for that. All right, what's next?
From Jacob. John, you're absolutely wrong. No matter how many times you say water's not wet, water makes things wet, but it's not itself. I've been fighting this for years. Let's just put it to rest and say I'm right.
It's an interesting thing. Water is not
wet.
I see his
if
side
you
of
put
it.
your hand in just water,
but then your hand becomes wet.
Yeah.
Now the question is it moist? That's the question that for when Aaron Cummings is here. Is it moist? You know, it's a good point. I will try to be mindful of that in the future, Jacob.
Yes, we're
All right.
sorry.
These are the hard-hitting, important questions we address here on the John Campea Show.
It truly is going to mess me up the rest of the day, though. Yep. I'm going to be like, oh my God, is it?
All right, what's next?
From Jay Bling, Tom Cruise riding on horseback in the desert. Are we sure Mission Impossible 7 isn't also a Mummy sequel?
Did you see that yesterday? Jonathan, I don't know if you can find this and bring it up if you can, that picture of Universal's Dark Universe that had Russell Crowe, Johnny Depp, Javier Bardem, Tom Cruise.
The infamous picture.
When it was the Monsterverse?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of this picture that they had put out where Universal's like, we got all these movies coming, everybody. We got this big, dark cinematic universe. Before the first movie ever even came out. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't even have the first one come out, which of course was Tom Cruise's The Mummy. And they didn't even have that one come out, and they were standing on their soapbox going, we got this big, there it is. Yeah. And they put out this big promo, which is, by the way, that is a picture I would frame and have on my wall.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't blame them
Hollywood,
for trying to go this way.
Yeah, some legendary Hollywood stuff. But they didn't even wait to see if anybody was going to even watch the first movie. And now this picture goes from being like a really cool picture to being a huge symbol of shame, like a huge embarrassment of their ultimate failure.
Before The Mummy came out, I met with the head of casting at Universal. My manager arranged it for me, of talking about the monster universe and finding a place for me in it and everything. And it was going to be the next big thing. They were finally going to have this really cool cinematic universe over there, and whoopsie doodle. Yep.
Whoopsie doo. It was the 5-year anniversary of that. So, I guess it's taken a couple of years, but Tom Cruise feels comfortable to get on a horseback again. Good to see.
Good for you, Tom.
Like, you get back on that horse.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
From Fredo. Hey, awesome people. Chris, who's your favorite voice actor? Mine is Mary Kay Bergman. She's made my childhood. R.I.P. Mary. Oh, Mary Kay's a great one. I really, really love Steve Bloom, who was the voice of Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop. I also was a huge fan of Christine Cavanaugh growing up. R.I.P. Christine Cavanaugh. She was the voice of Chucky Finster. She was the voice of Gosling on Darkwing Duck. She did voices on Sonic. She was incredible. I loved her. And Southern, so I gravitated towards her.
All right. What's next?
From Bama Ham Yum. Hashtag Morbius sweep. Hashtag it's Morbin time.
More Mighty Morbin Power Rangers.
If he said that every time he crushed one of the IVs, I would have been more into the movie.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Like, that totally changes the movie.
Yeah.
Suddenly now, it's a contender.
Morbin time.
All right, what's next?
From Kara Black, who's the better antagonist, the Riddler or the Scarlet Witch? I'd personally go with the Scarlet Witch.
If you're talking about Scarlet Witch in Multiverse of Madness, yeah, I think Batman's the better movie. I think Scarlet Witch is the more interesting antagonist. I mean, I honestly think, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, I honestly think that Wanda Maximoff's story in the MCU is the best story the MCU's ever told. I really do. I think it's better than the Infinity Saga overall. I think it's better. Like, I love Tony's story, I do, but I think Wanda's story is the most fascinating, interesting story right through to the completion. And even though I don't super love Doctor Strange 2, I loved what they did with her. And I think it's the most interesting story they've got in all the MCU. So I'm going to say Wanda myself. All right, what's next?
From BJ, I hope Sony secured contracts with the Spider-Man cast. Unrelated, how's that 2023 Star Trek movie coming along?
Yeah, they made an announcement about it. And you know what? I think something else came out this weekend that I totally missed. I think some other little piece of news came out about it. As far as I know, they're still kind of plowing ahead and trying to get that
Sounds
thing
like it.
ready to go.
They've only released a logo because I remember looking it up. It's like a new logo. It's not really new, but that's all they've released so far.
Yeah.
The last I looked up.
So as far as I know, development still, we're kind of in that period where no news is good news. Like, if news stories are coming out about it right now, that's not good. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, what's next?
From Daniel Dang, one of HBO's The Last of Us directors, Kantemir Balagov, sorry if I said that wrong, said that the show will air in early 2023. I'm happy we're getting this show sooner than I thought.
I cannot wait.
I'm so hyped.
I cannot wait. And like, one of the big reasons is, besides the fact that I think The Last of Us, I'm not saying it's the best video game movie ever made or video game ever made, but it's the best story I've ever seen in a video game. Nothing has ever come close as far as the narrative of the story of that game is so good and so compelling. And then you have the top of the mountain, the best of the best in the business for making compelling, interesting, great series. HBO. They're doing it. I've got a lot of faith in this. I'm very excited for it.
So hyped. And Pedro Pascal.
Who
Who he delivers.
Yes, he does.
delivers. I don't know if you've seen that lovely image of him doing his voiceover work for The Mandalorian, clutching a pillow so that he can like feel connected to Grogu when he's supposed to be holding him.
Oh, wow.
And it's great. It's something we teach in class all the time of like, no, you can use props and stuff. No one's going to see you. Whatever weird stuff you have to do to connect, do it. And I love that he just commits on that level.
So method.
So method.
But Chris, what if you find out he uses that pillow all the time? Not just for voiceovers. Just walks around.
He goes
with
to
it.
just walks
dinners
around
with
with it.
it. He's like,
His pillow girlfriend. Oh,
all right, what's next?
it's Pedro Pascal. I'd be fine with it. Jerome, is it out of character for smart characters to make dumb decisions? No, people do stupid stuff all the time.
No, like, the smartest people make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
Everybody makes dumb people make smart decisions sometimes. Brilliant people make bad decisions sometimes. To me, it makes it more realistic.
I mean, most achievements are on the back of failures. So
There you go.
Dang.
Little
Fortune
wisdom
cookie.
drop there from producer Jonathan.
Mr. Fortune Cookie right there. Welcome to my island, baby. That's why you're here.
All right, what's next?
From Ismail. Hey guys, watching the She-Hulk trailer, there's a bar shack scene that really resembles Spider-Man No Way Home with Venom post-credit scene in Mexico. Can you imagine if there's a connection between Hulk and Venom?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. But I will say this, and I should have, I'll put it up on my Twitter later today. One of our viewers took the She-Hulk trailer and deep faked Anne's face on Tatiana Maslany through the whole trailer. And it is frighteningly good. the way he did it. And I meant to put up on my Twitter this morning. I totally forgot. So it's the whole trailer, except it's my wife Anne's face on it. And it looks disturbingly legit.
Oh,
like,
well done, fan.
yeah, well done indeed.
man.
All right, what's next?
From Andy, we're often told it's never good to play God. I think the exception to this is Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, Morgan. Yeah,
Yeah.
that dude was born to do the voice of God. Him and who was it that was in the old classic Dear God movies? Was that George Burns?
Yes, and John Denver.
George Burns and John Denver, and they made a couple of them.
It
Didn't they?
was Oh God.
Oh God, but I think there was two. Maybe one was Oh God and one was Dear or Oh God 2. I can't remember. They did a couple of them.
Also,
but George
Alan
Burns and Morgan Freeman.
Say Alan Rickman as the voice of God is also choice.
Who? Oh, in
Dogma.
Dogma. That's right. All right. What's next?
From Omar OVO, sending a $20 super chat.
Oh, thank you, Omar.
Who's y'all's favorite superhero character? I gotta go with Toby Spidey. Him being flawed in those movies just makes him more compelling. Like, he did selfish things, but at the end of the day, he learns to be better himself.
My overall favorite comic book character, not talking on the screen, my overall all-time favorite comic book character is Magneto. I just think he's the most interesting, multi-dimensional, character. I love him. On screen, it's easy for me. Chris Evans is Captain America. Chris Evans is Steve Rogers, my absolute favorite guy. I like the character who goes from one completely solid belief system to having to question those beliefs while maintaining his own moral North Star, while going through a huge crisis of conscience. I just love it. And always being true to that North. I just think he's the best character they've ever had. And that's why I'm telling you, he's going to be back. What about you? Who's been your favorite comic book character on screen?
Comic book themselves, Spider-Man, always. I love Spider-Man. Yeah. Even I had my first crush was on the animated one. I was in love with that Peter Parker. I was like, he's so dreamy. On screen for the movies, though, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I've really, really been loving Thor lately. I've just
Thor,
enjoyed
yeah.
his whole journey, and that crisis of not feeling worthy, I think, was just done so well. I know sometimes it was done for laughs, but when they really got to the root of what was going on there, I loved it. So I think maybe Thor.
All right. What's next?
From Al Renshaw, got my tickets to Maestro at the movies.
Nice.
I am in super seats towards the middle. Maybe I'll run into you guys. Do you have your own box seats? Thanks for answering all of my questions.
Yeah, we decide, like we always sat in the nosebleeds at it because they can be expensive to go to John Williams. But a couple years ago, Ann and I decided we will splurge because we just don't know how many more he's going to do. We said this to ourselves a couple of years ago. We do not know how many more of these John Williams will do. He's in his 90s now. So we thought every time he does do them, we will splurge and buy the good box seats. And we normally get them the day before. We go on Vivid Seats and just buy them. But for that we will do those.
Yeah.
We'll do those for sure. All right, congratulations on getting those, man. All right,
Yeah,
what's
and
next?
also I'd like to say, just like the super seats, you can't go wrong with those super seats. I love them. So
Where
you're
are
gonna
the
love
super
your spot.
seats?
They're center of the center.
Center of the
Ooh.
center.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. What's
Nice.
next?
From Gotta Love Them Movies. Well, John, based on your recommendation, I just finished Mazes and Monsters.
Oh my God.
Wow. Tom Hanks and Vera Miles in a low-budget TV movie? Huh. Glad I watched it, but that'll garner a repeat viewing.
Yeah, for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, Mazes and Monsters was Tom Hanks, I believe, his first big role. It was a made-for-TV movie that was all about teaching people about the dangers of Dungeons and Dragons. And it's Tom Hanks who plays Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, it's called Mazes and Monsters. And it slowly drives him crazy where he can no longer tell the difference between reality and whatever. And he's about to throw himself off a building or a bridge or something, believing that, oh, I'll be fine. I'll just cast my flying spell and I'll be fine. It's like, oh my God. It is legendary amongst Dungeons and Dragons community. It is so bad. If you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to watch it. All right, what's next?
From Matt Sanders, sending in an almost $20 super chat. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, gang. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet, but that new Elvis trailer, it looks great. Maybe showed too much, but I hope it gets good box office and Oscar buzz. What did you think?
Haven't seen it. I just saw before when I was coming in that they did drop a new Elvis trailer. Look, they showed us like 15, 20 minutes of the movie at CinemaCon. Oh my God, it looks so good.
Gorgeous.
I mean, it's a best, I mean, you can just tell it's a best picture
Yeah.
contender. It's absolutely.
It's Baz Luhrmann.
And Austin Butler is going to get nominated for Best Actor. Tom Hanks is going to get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words. You know, other than Thor, I think that's my next most anticipated movie of the year is this one. It looks great. So I don't know what was in this trailer. I suspect probably a lot of stuff they showed us at CinemaCon, but I'll look forward to watching it. Guys, this movie looks so good. If it's not circled on your thing, look, I'm not an Elvis guy either, so way before my time, but circle this one. Circle this one and be ready for it. All right, what's next?
Right, from Jacob Hirsch. Also, not sure if you saw it yet, but Chip and Dale was great. It was.
You know what? I have a little bit of a routine on nice evenings. I take my laptop once the sun goes down. I go into my backyard, sit by the pool, light up the fire pit, and I like sit by a fire as I'm working and writing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna cuddle up with the dogs. I'm gonna watch Chip and Dale. I'm like, okay, honey, you do that. And she came out afterwards. I said, so how is Chip and Dale? She goes, you know what? It's really good.
It's hilarious.
So you're saying, did you see it, right?
No.
You're
this
gonna
whole
like
weekend,
it.
I was planning on seeing it, and then whenever I thought about starting it, I was like, oh, I have to go to sleep. So I'm going to watch it today. I'm going to make it a point to watch it today.
You know what? I think I'm
sometime.
going to have to watch it too. Because like Anne came and she goes, it's really good. And I'm like, I said, I have no interest in seeing this, but everybody's telling me it's pretty great. So I think I might have to actually break down and watch it.
Oh, it's super, super fun. And then I learned that Logan had never seen Chip and Dale going into the movie.
Neither have I.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
I mean, I know who they are.
Oh, man.
The only Chip and Dales I've seen on screen is Patrick Swayze
Oh.
doing with Chris.
And SNL.
Yeah, on,
With
on
Chris
SNL.
Farley? Yeah.
Yes, with Chris Farley. Yeah, one of the greatest sketches they've ever done, by the way.
They will bring that up.
Do they?
Yes, they will.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. See, now
Real
I do got
early
to
on.
watch it.
It's real cute.
All right, what's next?
From Orange Hand, George Martin's writing speed has been a subject of debate amongst book folk, especially whether there's any obligation authors have towards their readers. Where do you guys stand on this whole thing?
Okay, obligation?
Ooh,
That's a strong word.
dang.
Obligation is a strong word. But when you have made your fortune off of a property that fans have supported and whatever, and all along the way you have promised this conclusion, I will fall just short of saying obligation, but damn, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, like all your success and fame and fortune is owed to these people who have supported you on this property that you've promised to bring to conclusion. And they have been sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's
Wiener.
flaccid wiener. Like that's, by the way, one of the great South Park things ever. But yeah, get off your damn ass, man.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He has the money to do it. However, shouldn't you conclude your own story,
Yeah.
especially when you've made comments about, you know, your source material being diverted from or how you want things to go on these shows that are based on your IPs? I feel like then maybe put the pen to paper and give us your version of it. Because wasn't he, correct me if I'm wrong, was he vocal about the ending for Game of Thrones?
I wouldn't say vocal. He
Okay.
made some comments, but it's like, I could just picture him sitting at home going, you know, I could go do some work, or
Or I can dive in my money bin like I'm Scrooge McDuck.
I could take a swim in this money bin and then eat a $5,000 barrel of ice cream if
Oh,
I
man.
want.
That sounds choice.
better to me. I mean, I hope he finishes it. All right, what's next?
We got to do Andy here.
All
right.
right. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sure, Jonathan, let's do Andy.
With the acts of Zaslav cleaning house and Alan Horn maybe coming back, how much does this increase the likelihood that the DCEU gets scrapped and rebooted?
All right. Swinging the great axe of Zaslav and like culling out the chaff and burning it away, leaving only the wheat. I don't know if it tells us anything about where his mind is at on rebooting it. Look, here's what I think is going to happen. He is going to install somebody to be just like he does with all of his divisions. He always installs somebody and he gives them creative freedom to oversee their division and what they're going to do. I think he's going to leave that up to whoever they put in that place. And then he's probably going to let Alan Horn make that decision too, who to put in place there. So I don't think anything that Zaslav has done now is giving us any indication about whether they're just going to kill the DCU and reboot or not. I just think he's getting rid of a lot of things that's costing them money that he doesn't believe is going to make them any money. and then he'll wait till they install somebody else and allow them to make that decision. So I don't think we're any closer to it yet right now, but we'll find out. All right, what's next?
From Stefan, Cronenberg's new sci-fi horror movie Crimes of the Future is debuting today at Cannes, and I'm seeing it this Sunday. Are you looking forward to it?
Is this not the one that Rob went to go watch?
Yeah.
I believe they already played it at Cannes. Like, didn't they play it at Cannes and like David Cronen and a whole bunch of people walked out in the first 10 or 15 minutes?
Oh.
Like, I thought it already had its first screening. And I
Maybe.
remember the day before, David Cronenberg even said, oh, yeah, we're debuting this tomorrow. I'm expecting a lot of people are going to walk out in the first half hour.
When Rob said that about his screening, too, of it's not for everyone.
Yeah, the screening of the trailer, I think some people walked out of the
I'm
trailer.
just-
So,
no.
yeah, I haven't seen it myself, so who knows? I know Rob's very excited about it because it's based on a book, isn't it? I think Rob loves the book.
I'm not sure. And
I might
he
be-
loves that director,
But
too,
I know he
so.
loves Cronenberg, and I know he loved the trailer himself, but we'll see. All right, what's next?
From Jay Master.
Jay Master.
Hey, John, I 100% believe Tom Cruise is an alien and drinks unicorn blood. I recommend watching Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers on Disney+. It's a really good movie, better than Space Jam: A New Legacy. Boy, is it.
Well,
What a
I
low
mean,
bar.
that's not exactly a high bar. Okay, I will say
rewatch
this.
Morbius before I watch Space Jam: A New Legacy again.
Me too. Somebody sent me a picture a while ago, and I actually ended up looking at it today. But who was the name of the love interest in the first Top Gun? Was it Kelly McGillis?
Yep.
All right. Somebody sent me a picture of Top Gun, Tom Cruise, and Kelly McGillis standing side by side when Top Gun was made. Then they showed a picture of the two of them today. Kelly McGillis looks age appropriate. She looks like somebody her age would right now. Tom Cruise looks like he aged 5 years. It's freaky. Tom Cruise is about to turn 60. And he does not, like, I will say this though, in the last 2 to 3 years, he's finally started to look like he's aging a bit. Like finally, but it is freaky how much he still looks like he did during the first Top Gun and nobody else does. So it's really, really weird. All right, what's next?
Skin treatments and hair dye. They'll do wonders, y'all.
Whew, and unicorn blood.
And unicorn blood, obviously, if you can get your hands on it. Daniel Skinner. One thing that both John Campea and I have in common is Russell Crowe is our favorite actor of all time.
I love, I listen, what Russell Crowe, where I really first took notice of Russell Crowe was when he was in, I think it was called The Insider with Al Pacino. Al Pacino, who even back then everybody knew was one of the greatest actors in the world. And I remember watching that movie, and I was a lot younger, but watching that movie going, who is this guy that is acting circles around Al Pacino? Who's this guy that's stealing scenes from Al Pacino? And I think Russell Crowe got an Oscar nomination for that movie. And then obviously Gladiator came, Cinderella Man, which, oh my God, I honestly, I think Cinderella Man might be the greatest performance in his career.
He and Paul Giamatti are killer in that film.
So good. And then of course you've got something Mind. What is it? Dangerous
Beautiful Mind?
Beautiful Mind. Thank you. Beautiful Mind, which I think he also got, he got nominated. He might have won an Academy Award for that. I can't remember. But he's got all these great performances. The dude can do any kind of role. I'm not saying he's always in the best movies, but yeah, when Russell Crowe is in a movie, I'm going to be there and I'm going to check out. He is probably my favorite. And so there's that. All right, what's next?
From Stubble McShave, Colin Cantwell, the designer of a lot of the spacecrafts in original Star Wars, passed away.
Oh,
Also, a new Elvis trailer dropped. It looks really good.
yeah. Again,
Oh,
I haven't
shame
seen the
about
trailer, but it's
Colin.
probably stuff that we saw. I'm sad to hear. I did not hear about that until right now. Yeah, these guys. I mean, look. The reality is, the original Star Wars is old enough now that a lot of the people who have worked on it, we've obviously lost a couple of the cast, whatever, and some of these icons, even in the art department, we're starting to lose now. So that's really unfortunate to hear. I'll have to check that out more. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, is it okay that I'm listening to the show during my college graduation?
Yes.
Also, Senator Chuck Schumer just spoke at my graduation, which was weird.
First of all, congratulations on your graduation.
Yeah.
I mean, let's don't bury the lead here. That's great.
That's amazing.
I mean, listen, I have had people literally write into me. First of all, a lot over the years of I'm watching at work. Always get that. People watching at work, watching in the classroom. Sure, that's great too. I've literally had people tell me they were watching me at a wedding. They would be at a wedding and they're sitting in a I'm sitting near the back pew and I got my phone out with my headphones in and I'm watching your thing during this wedding.
Dang.
Now, in their defense, it was a pretty long wedding. So yeah, so congratulations on the graduation, man. That's awesome. Congrats, dude. All right, what's next?
From Fredo. John, have you seen any of the Steven Seagal movies? And what do you think of him as a fighter? I personally think his movies are a joke. Also, John, can you please say the penguin line again?
What was the penguin line again?
It was just a high-pitched scream.
Was that? So, okay. I, like everybody else when they came out, I was a kid, and the Steven Seagal, like Under Siege is great. Watching those movies at the time, look, all I know is this. I don't really know the ins and outs. There's been a lot of talk about the real background of Steven Seagal and all this kind of stuff. All I know is this. Anderson Silva, maybe the best mixed martial artist of all time, maybe, went to Steven Seagal and would actually have Steven Seagal be at ringside with him sometimes. And with his incredible knockout, he had this big front kick knockout of the Brazilian fighter. Why am I freezing
Vitor
on?
Belfort.
Thank you. It was Belfort. That's right. And he knocked Vitor out. And the first thing he said was, yeah, like Steven's the one told me that he'd be vulnerable to that and showed me the proper technique to do it and blah, 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 and knocked him out. So look, I don't know. I heard all the stuff about him that his whole life is one big thing of BS, whatever. But I don't know. Anderson Silva was talking to him and seemed to take his advice. So, I mean, I don't know. His movies are terrible. Once you move past the first couple, like Under Siege is great. All the rest of them
They
are
have
kind
the
of
best names, though. They're so late 80s, early 90s vibes of just like out for justice, hard to kill. It's perfect.
And the poster's always the same, just him looking grim.
Yeah, it's just a black background and him like shadowy of just.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I will say this, though. In his earlier action films, his hand speed was impressive. He had pretty damn impressive hand speed. So, whatever. All right, what's next?
From Cinema Reviews. The Dead Reckoning trailer felt incomplete without sound over so much of it other than music. I think if it hadn't leaked yesterday, we wouldn't see this.
No, they showed it to us at CinemaCon. This trailer has been packaged, ready to go for a while. They were getting ready to put it out. So it was absolutely coming out. Again, I'm not super big on the trailer. The movie's going to be awesome, I have no doubt. But yeah, I think the last one was much better, partially for some of the things you're expressing right now. All right, thanks for that, Cinema. All right, what's next?
From Al Renshaw. When Aaron was talking about Cry Macho, stroking egos, erecting a statue, etc., I was waiting for John Chris, the crew, to make a joke. LOL.
Sometimes the filter between the brain and the mouth works.
Sometimes.
It doesn't always. It does not always work, but sometimes the filter kicks in, and you look, if the camera's on both Chris and I, she's Aaron, we're just like,
yeah. Or sometimes I just lean over and say something shitty. I just leave my mic.
It's like, yeah, well,
Oftentimes, me and Ray will just shoot each other a look, and then we're just.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being behind the camera. They can just go, all right, what's next?
From RK, with the rise of drones, what are y'all's thoughts on using them for filming?
Hey, listen, okay, so there's two different ways you can approach it, right? First of all, before there are certain shots that if you wanted them in a movie, you had to rent a helicopter, get a pilot, get permits, blah, blah, blah. Now you can attach 8K cameras to these drones and a college kid with a cell phone and just get your shots. And I think it's great. It opens up an avenue to filmmakers, a lot easier, whatever, to get some pretty sweeping, beautiful shots. Then, just like anything good, that can be abused. You look at Michael Bay's Ambulance, which I can't remember. Did you see Ambulance?
No, but I just remember you being like, it's basically just Drone the movie.
Yeah. Seriously, it could have been called Ambulance, also known as Michael Bay just bought a drone.
Yeah.
Because like every effing shot was, look, everybody's like, man, listen, I spent $400 on this drone. I better get my use out of it. It's like every other shot. It's like,
that's on the lower end, John. Michael Bay doesn't have money.
It's like, give me okay, we get it. You have a drone. well done. But like everything was freaking drone shots. So it's like ice cream. Ice cream is one of life's greatest things. But believe it or not, it can be abused. You should not eat the amount of ice cream that I eat. So it can be
As long as you top it with athletic greens.
Yeah, as long as you put the athletes. Now it's health food. Health food. And then followed up with a liquid IV chaser, and you're all good. And then you call the ambulance on your Mint Mobile, and it's all set. You've got the trifecta going.
Synergy.
So, yeah, I love the drones, just not when they're overused. All right, what's next?
From Nerd or Die, Dead Reckoning. Someone call 1989 and tell them I have the title for their next Chuck Norris movie. Sick burn.
But I agree.
Yeah.
It's not a great title. And I remember seeing that at CinemaCon and like, I remember Rob looking at me, what are you talking about? That title's offensive. It harkens to the days of blah, blah. And it's like, well, first of all, if I had a nickel for every time one of Rob's sentences starts with, it harkens to the days of, I probably have a lot of nickels. But I mean, some people really love it and that's great, but it's not a good title to me.
I have never met someone more disappointed in me for being born after 1986 than Robert Meyer Burnett. Whenever he's like, how dare you? I'm like, I had no choice in this matter, sir. I was not part of it. But it does sound like something that you would have like Don LaFontaine doing the voiceover for, right? Of
yes.
Like, just Dead Reckoning. Part 1.
Tom Cruise is back. And it's time for his Dead Reckoning.
This time, like all the others, it's personal.
Like all the others. I love that.
What's next?
From SH, was Gore jacked in what you saw?
No, he looked just.
Looks spooky.
It just looks so freaking creepy.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not so much him standing still with makeup on. That's not what's creepy. It's what then Christian Bale does with that makeup on him that makes it ultimately incredibly creepy. So listen, I get it. If you're, first of all, only 1% of this audience has actually seen Gore the God Butcher and knows what he looks like in the comics. Nobody has read it. But, and for those people who kind of saw the character design on the toy box and think, well, that doesn't look like it does in the comic. Okay, that's fine. And you may not necessarily like the design. That's great. I'm just telling you though, when you see Christian Bale inhabit it, I think it's going to win a lot of people over. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
From what we've seen, it looks like this is going to be a very free performance too.
Yes.
Where he's just going to be really, really bodying the character as he always does.
Yep. All right, what's next?
From Nathan Oswald, let's just take a moment and continue to acknowledge how gorgeous Haley Atwell is.
It's something we could do every day. I love Chris's post.
Just thinking about her right now. She's so pretty.
She is so pretty. God,
pretty.
I love her.
So talented.
By the way, did you ever watch Agent Carter?
I did. I loved it.
I wasn't terribly big on season 2. Yeah, right. Rails. But season 1 was really, really good.
She was fantastic.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
From Ryder, excited to see what CGI for or giant sky laser Daredevil fights in the episode 6 finale. Hopefully this ends up just being a joke.
I don't understand the question at all.
I think it's talking about the new Disney Plus series and how everything's been 6 episodes and then the last fight is not always particularly good.
Yeah, I think it's good. Look, they've brought in some pretty good showrunners. We will see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Attack of the Mushi, 6 film streak broke. Broke John. Kidman ad strikes again. Oh no.
What does that mean? 6 films?
They went 6 movies at AMC without seeing Kidman, and then she got back in there.
I am literally at like number 35 in a row. I've never not seen that Nicole Kidman thing play before. And I mentioned on Mailbag, Ann and I actually went to a Regal, not to go to a movie, but we ran over to a Regal this weekend that was a little bit further away than our AMC, just so I could talk to the manager about Regal Unlimited, because I am seriously thinking about canceling my A-list and switching from AMC to Regal as my theater choice, because I am fucking sick of that damn... Come to AMC theaters. So really, you're going to show me a commercial right now about coming to AMC theaters when I'm here right now, and this movie was supposed to start 29 minutes ago.
I thought you were going to say they played the commercial at the Regal.
Oh, they should.
Watch this video before, if you want to join Unlimited. Here you go.
We're so glad you're asking about Unlimited. Here, watch this little info video.
That would be brilliant marketing if they were like, "Are you sick of this?
Oh my God,
come
they
to
should.
Regal."
They totally
like it follows you everywhere, John. It's going to become a nightmare.
They should just do a television commercial of somebody in a black suit with their hair in a bun being like, "Hey, are you tired of somebody telling you where you are when you're there? Come to Regal Theaters."
By the way, I don't know if you saw it, but my buddy Cliff sent me this. Somebody took that AMC ad, and when what they did was every time you see the movie screen in the ad, they've taken out like the Creed and the Wonder Woman footage, and it's just all the scene from House of Gucci of Adam Driver and Lady Gaga having
when he's
sex
just
on the
drilling her?
table, drilling
Yeah.
her on the table. She's just somehow heartbreak feels good, and you see the screen just him pounding her on the table. It's like, oh, that was good.
That's great.
It was really, really good.
Last night I went to the AMC Investor Connect advanced screening of Bob's Burger, and I thought, oh well, maybe they won't do it here because it's just like an advanced screening. Yeah, they still showed it.
Yeah,
And
they
actually,
did it at the Moonfall Investors screening too.
Wait.
Actually, a fight broke out during that commercial. I was like, guys, come on! I'm trying to listen to Colt. They make movies better. Come on! And they both got kicked out.
Wait. You saw the movie Bob's Burgers?
Yeah, I did the
you like
Investor
it?
Connect. Yeah, last night.
Did you like it?
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
Should I
And
go
I don't know much about Bob's Burger, which
Oh,
which
okay.
you can actually just jump right in
Oh,
and
good,
just understand it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Jordan Ellis, just excited for Thor. Just a glimpse of gore will be enough. Don't show us anything else because I'm all in already. LOL. It's going to be epic.
Okay, but for those of us who are in the know about gore and all that kind of stuff, you got to remember 99% of the audience has never heard of gore. So they're probably going to have to give a little bit more than a quick glimpse. Because, yeah, a quick glimpse is probably all people who have read the story need to see. But again, we are 1%. So they're going to probably have to show a little bit more of that to get the audience, the general audience, kind of excited about this villain and stuff like that. So we'll see what they do tonight. I'm very excited. Can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. All right, what's next?
From Mr. Holtbrook, I'm not sure you covered this, but the first Transformers movie turns 15.
Wow.
What memories do you have of the first movie?
I am an unashamed, massive supporter of that first Michael Bay Transformers movie.
It was
All
fun.
the rest of them are dog crap. But that first one, you got to understand, I'm the kid who grew up with using every one of my allowances to run to Toys R Us and buy a new Transformer.
That's shocking, given the state of your desk. You would buy a lot of toys?
Yeah,
Joel?
you never know. You
Interesting.
never know. And what I would do is I would take the box, I would cut out the front image of the Transformer, and then on the back of the box, I would cut out the power level thing, because every Transformers box on the back had how big was their firepower, speed, intelligence, leadership, all that kind of stuff. And I would put that on my wall.
Oh yeah.
With the power bar next to the character and the name bar. And my entire bedroom wall was filled with these cutouts of the Transformers boxes.
Ladies.
I clearly did not have a lot of girls in my bedroom when I was a young teenager. That didn't happen much. But seeing it on the big screen for the first time I'll never forget that first shot of Optimus coming out of the alley. Do, 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 do. And then and as he starts to transform for the first time, and the camera does that circling around him as he slowly transforms, and you hear that sound. It's like I had a raging heart on when I was doing that. That thing was so good.
Can I say something?
Yes.
That is a long transformation, isn't it?
It was considering how it goes.
Get shot right there.
But I've always loved that movie. I continue to love that movie. I think it's great.
Happy Quinceañera, Transformers.
All right, what's next?
From Ben Rayner, would you put the name Daniel Radcliffe in the bucket for Johnny Storm?
No. But I think Daniel's turned into a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so if tomorrow they announced that Daniel Radcliffe was going to play Johnny Storm, I'd be all for it because he's a good actor. Do I see him as Johnny Storm in my head? No. But if they cast him, it means they do see him as a fit for it. And that is fine. Look, all I care about is, are they a good actor? Daniel Radcliffe's a good actor, but he wouldn't be on my personal short list.
If he can lower his voice, a la your boy Cavill for The Witcher, right? I want him to be the next Wolverine.
I thought you were going to say Ben Grimm.
Oh,
Daniel Radcliffe as
honestly,
Ben
that
Grimm.
would be fun. That would be very fun.
All right, what's next?
From Hoser, are you watching the Battle of Alberta hockey teams?
Yeah, I watched a bunch of the Calgary Edmonton game last night. Congratulations to Edmonton. It's too bad that the shutout got broken there, but that series is getting tense. As the Alberta battle always is. Some great hockey being played there. All right, what's next?
From Jay Master, sending in a $50 super
Whoa,
chat.
thank you, Jay Master, so much for supporting us on that level, man.
Helping in the chat, sending in support. You're awesome. Friday was National Streaming Day, which Disney was dropping so many new news contents coming to Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. And with the 20th Century TV series Glee coming June 1st to Disney Plus.
Oh, wow.
Also, Disney lit up the LA sky Friday night with an incredible drone show.
Ooh, you know what? I didn't see it. I really like those drone shows. The drone, like the ones they did at the Olympics, were so good. I didn't see a lot of the announcements that they were talking about. I mean, I get my updates from Disney's PR arm. They send out these updates and whatever. But Glee coming, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That was a show that was I never watched it. Never watched it. But that show was super popular for like a number of years. And like even today, a lot of the paparazzi shows will still talk about where, you know, what laws are former stars breaking now and what's the drama going on with the former stars. I never watched it, but it was a huge thing. So anyway, yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jay Master. And thank you for supporting us on that level, man. That's incredibly generous of you, dude. All right, what's next?
From Josie Reviews, Bandale Rescue Rangers was so much fun. I've had the theme stuck in my head all day, and I wish I could have seen it in theaters.
Again, when Anne came walking out into the backyard last night, and I'm like, so how was Chippendale? I was expecting her to say, but she goes, it's really good. And I'm like, damn it. Now I got to watch it. Because I haven't heard one person say it's bad yet. You're saying it's great. Anne's saying it's great.
It is fraught with Easter eggs from all kinds of different studios. It's not just throwaways to the Disney afternoon. There's plenty of stuff in there. But it's, I mean, just animation stuff everywhere that is just bananas. It's so funny. I think you'll really like it.
All right, I'm looking forward to it now. All right, what's next?
From Bobby GV25. Mint Mobile, Aviation Gin, and No DP in No Deadpool and Doctor Strange 2. Are John and Ryan best friends?
Yeah, sure. Me and Ryan Reynolds. Best friends in the world. Besties. No, listen. I am clearly a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. He is my favorite movie star in the world. Like him, like his online. So first of all, I love when he starts talking crap about his own children. Like hearing Ryan Reynolds talking crap about his own children. It's like one of the funniest things in the world. A huge fan of the dude. Can't wait for Deadpool 2 coming. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Yeah. All right, what's next?
From Chef Rigo.
Chef.
Tried our ice cream for the first time yesterday, Ray. Bruh, I see what you mean now.
Oh yeah.
What?
He wants that ice cream.
Wait. So he said he tried it for the first time?
Yeah, he said he never had the ice cream
it.
there before.
Bro, I thought you would have that every day. I would. It's good.
We're going to have to give it a shot next time. All right, what's next?
From William Bangs. John, on May 11th of last year, Emily Blunt told Howard Stern she doesn't love superhero films, so I don't think she'll do it.
She loves
Again,
superhero money.
Yeah.
yeah, but here's the thing. Actors act. Also remember, it was not that long ago that handsome Hawk, Ethan Hawke, talked about that superhero movies weren't really his thing either. And he just killed it in Moon Knight. He killed it in Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, you're an actor. Your job is to act. And if you get something handed to you that you think looks interesting and sounds cool and the script is good, yeah, just because she said at one point that, yeah, you know, superheroes movies aren't my thing. If the right script comes across your desk and you like it and you think if this would be a really cool project for me and John, I mean, yeah, it's not like people act as if she came out and said, F comic book movies.
Yeah.
I will never do a comic book movie
not
over
Martin Scorsese.
my dead. Yeah, she's not Scorsese. Over my dead body. No, she's, you know, superhero movies aren't really my thing. Okay, that's fine.
But I literally, I was working on a horror movie last weekend.
And you are really not into horror
I don't
movies.
like horror movies. I like making money, and I like when I have a compelling character to play. Like that's all we're looking for.
And her last two movies were at Disney, right? The
Jungle
Mary
Cruise was Disney and
Mary Poppins and
yeah.
Jungle Cruise.
So, I mean, she's right there. I mean, if they wanted to make her offer, she'd just have to go down the street, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
That's how studios work. They just
Again,
go down the street.
it was so benign that I really don't think it's all
Yeah.
that big of a deal. All right, what's next?
From Derek Pierce, gonna have to add Jonathan as a minifigure now. John and Ray, did you get a chance to see them yet?
Where
The
is
Legos?
this? Yeah, where is it? I have.
Oh, I
They
still
retagged
I
us.
still have
Oh
not
my
seen
gosh,
it.
it's so cute.
Did someone save it? Come on.
I
So, yeah.
have it. I have it.
Just send it to
Yeah, I'll
us
send it
after
to
the
you
thing so I
guys.
can finally see this thing.
'Cause, yeah.
I think Anne even said she saw it, but I hadn't seen it
Yeah.
yet myself. All right.
They're great.
What's next?
From Synced Up, is the fan artist for the Fantastic Four? Is the fan art for the Is the fan artist for the Fantastic Four poster not getting any compensation for it being used?
Well, first of all, they probably won't be,
No.
and nor should they be. Remember, the artist themselves is drawing copywritten material.
Exactly.
The artist doesn't have the right to make something with so it's all free use. So I wouldn't expect they'd be getting any compensation for that because they're drawing things that are copywritten things that don't belong to them in the first place. So it's all fair use. So my guess would be no. At least that's my guess. All right, what's next?
From Connor Lee, in your opinion, where's the perfect seat in the theater?
We was asked that same question last week. It depends. IMAX, about 3 rows from the back, dead middle. Regular AMC theater, the front of the back section with the bars in front of you because the handicap spots are in front that nobody ever sits in, so you can always put your feet up and lounge back and relax. And then an AMC Prime, Dolby Prime, any seat in the house. So that's my rundown of that. All right, what's next?
So from Omar OVO, hey guys, hope y'all are doing well. Hope we get that gore reveal tonight.
I can't imagine going into what is probably the last or second last trailer for Thor that they're not going to show the villain tonight. I'm not guaranteeing they're going to show gore tonight, but I will be shocked if they don't. So I really do think we're going to get that tonight, man. All right, what's next?
From Irene Jobson, Chris did it. Sorry. Are you talking about me knocking over the figure, Irene?
Yeah,
Because, yeah, we have footage of it.
everybody is writing to Rob right now. Rob, did you see what happened to your Obi-Wan? Your hot toys are not safe.
Just every moment of my existence is disappointing Rob. That's all I do.
That's my
Oh,
job.
man.
All right, what's next?
Al Renshaw. So when is Ray going to host an episode?
Yeah, I don't know that I would ever be able to make that happen.
Yeah. That
I
would
have
be
a
the
seriously-
shortest show ever.
Even when we're shorthanded, just to have him come up and sit at this table is like trying to get pulling teeth. So it's I don't know give it another year or two, maybe he'll get more comfortable. We'll see. All right, what's next?
From Mike Joyce. Alex Garland's Men sure was something. Avoid it unless you want nightmares about the Russian nesting doll from hell.
No idea what that means. All I know is, look, I love Alex's movies. I've really appreciated them. But the trailers for this movie have been such a turnoff to me. Like, I thought the first one was one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. The second trailer was definitely better, but still nothing in there to pique my interest about the story. So for all I know, this might be the best movie of the year, but I've been so disinterested in seeing it that I just never went to go see it. And until I hear from a bunch of people that it's great, I'm probably going to skip it. All right, what's next?
From Alex Mata. Hey crew, have you guys had a chance to check out the Chippendale film last week? If you have, I need to know your thoughts on that cameo that set the internet on fire.
Well, listen, obviously, if there's a surprise cameo, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. If there's a surprise cameo, we're not going to talk about it on the show, obviously.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I cannot. But again, as we've said several times throughout it, I'm hearing nothing but good things
Yeah.
about it. You clearly really like
I
it
like
a lot.
it. That cameo will have you laughing your ass off. And as fans of this show, you're going to really, really appreciate it.
All right, good to know. Okay, what's next?
From Mamba Mentality, what are your thoughts on the rumor for Namor origin story being altered in Black Panther 2, depicted as Mesoamerican to contrast from Aquaman?
Don't really care. All I know is this. Movies are the movies, the comics are the comics. Every comic book character and every comic book story has had minor to major shifts. This isn't about the comics or the movies. Just if they bring Namor in, and by the way, that is not a certainty at this point. Don't believe all the hype. But if they do, and they might, I totally expect that they will make some fundamental differences from what it is in the comics, as well they should. Every character has, and this would be no different. So remember, he has not appeared on screen yet. So whatever they do with him on screen, they haven't changed anything because he's never been on screen. The comics are the comics, the movies are the movies. Let's see what happens. Yeah. All right, what's next?
From Cincinnati's 5-star barber.
Cincinnati.
Week started off bad, turned on the show, feeling much better. Love you guys.
Thank you so much for that, Cincinnati. By the way, Okay, nope, I can't say anything. Just realized can't say anything. Never mind. Thank you for that, Cincinnati Bengals. I'm glad we're able to make your day a little bit better.
What?
I'll tell you guys after the
But that's
show's
just how
done.
John always talks.
I'll tell you guys after the show is done. Okay.
Oh, man.
What's next?
From Daniel Skinner, over or under 50%. The Quick and the Dead, LA Confidential, 310 to Yuma, and A Beautiful Mind become candidates for Movie Club.
Let's see. Can you bring that back up there, Jonathan? No. Yeah. No, I like all those movies. Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone. LA Confidential is fantastic.
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma, I freaking love.
I love that movie.
I actually think it's my second favorite Western after Unforgiven. I love that movie. All those are good, but none of them quite meet the criteria of Movie Club. So probably none of them, but those are all really good movies you put out there.
Yeah.
About Movie Club, though. Oh, did you want to?
I was just going to say LA Confidential is in my top 3 movies of all time.
Oh, wow.
Really?
That's great. By the way, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I was about to say something about Movie Club.
This is why Ray doesn't host.
This one.
I'll tell you guys after the show.
I see.
All right, what's next?
From Angela, sending in an almost $20 super chat. So
Thank you, Angela.
Thanks, crew. Just wanted to say thank you for everything you and the crew do.
By the way, Angela was there we did our members only. Of course, we have our channel members now. We have channel memberships open, and we did yesterday a members only town hall thing. And I recognize Angela was in there last night too. Thank you for being there, Angela, and thank you for being there today. Thank you. All right, what's next?
From Amin, just got confirmation that I'll be able to attend the Mando panel at Star Wars Celebration.
Nice.
So excited. First time going, cannot wait. And we're going.
We are going. You're
Just
going to go.
different days.
You're going to go Thursday and Friday. I'm going
Yeah.
Saturday. It's funny because Ann asked me today, "Are we interested in any panels?" I said, "I don't even know what panels there are. I just like being there with the other Star Wars fans. That's it."
I bought these tickets, almost 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
And I've never been to one. And I feel like every time I talk to you, I'm like, I should really look at these tickets. Because before, when you're like, which day are you going? I was like, there are multiple days. And then today it was, I'm going to both days. Chris, it's all week. And I was like, what?
Well, not
what
all
is that? Well,
week,
it's 4
but
days.
yeah.
Thursday,
and then
yeah.
I thought it was at Disney. I just let Logan know that too. And he was like, it's not oh.
Well, it's up the street.
Yeah.
It's up
So
the
we're
street from it,
probably
yeah.
going to do that. But he was just like, what is this thing that we bought tickets for? I was like, I truly don't know, man. I think it's Comic-Con, but just Star Wars.
It's kind of like, it feels like that when you're there.
Okay, that's fun.
All right, what's next?
From Hector, love the show. Went skydiving yesterday.
Nice.
Oh.
Try it, Campea crew. No, amazing experience. Doubtful.
I had to skydive once.
What? Like because the plane was gonna crash?
No. I went skydiving once. But not going to happen again. Conquer your fears. Yeah, that's a lie. So yeah, never do that. But hey, good on you, man. Good on you.
I pay so much money to stay inside a plane.
Yes, that seems like the much better option. All right, what's next?
From Steven, sending in an almost $20 super chat. Thank you,
Thank you, Steven.
Hey, John and crew. Me and my wife loved the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie, and honestly, it's probably my favorite thing Disney Plus has released so far.
Wow.
It's very cute, funny, really entertaining. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, this has been brought up 18 times already today. I had zero interest in this, but my wife loves it. Chris loves it. I have yet to have one person write in and say they didn't like it. Everybody's writing in saying they really. This is reminding me a lot of Harley Quinn. Because I had zero interest in that Harley Quinn animated show. I thought it looked terrible.
Yeah.
I had zero interest in this Chippendales thing, but now everybody's telling me it's great, so I'm going to have to give it a shot.
Like the first 2 sentences, huge dumb belly laugh. We had to start the movie over.
All right, I'll have to do it. All right,
Okay.
What's next?
From Dan Ho, Mission Impossible is everything Fast and Furious wishes it could be.
Well, I mean, look,
Shots
they
fired.
What's that?
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Look, they are different franchises. They strive to do different things. Fast and the Furious is a tongue-in-cheek, don't take itself too seriously kind of fun thing. Whereas Mission Impossible is meant to be also great action, but also great drama, great mystery, all that kind of stuff. Things that Fast and Furious don't even really try to be honest with you. So obviously Mission Impossible franchise is better than the Fast and Furious franchise, but they are two completely different things. So other than the fact that there's some action in both of them. All right, what's next?
From Andy. Do we do this one already? Or no, watch The Acts of Zaslav bloodthirst for more and more and end The Flash with their next season.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. If The Flash ends the next season, it was going to end next season no matter what. I mean, there was a lot of questions about whether there was even going to be a next season.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, this is a show that should have ended a year or two ago. So it will end, but I don't think it's because of the Axis Aslov, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Stephen J. I see Blunt and John's Krasinski as a package deal. A large part of what drove the fan cast hype was their great dynamic as an in real life couple. I need both.
Here's the thing, though, Stephen. We don't need both. We don't. It's a cool idea. It's a fun idea. But if they don't do it, it's going to be perfectly fine. I will be excited if they do. I will be very happy if they do. I'm stoked for the idea. But I also recognize that if they don't do it and they get somebody else, it's going to be because they feel somebody else would be even a better role or better fit for the role the way they're writing them. So it'll be okay, but it will be pretty fun if they end up going this route.
Most couples do not work together on screen.
True.
I mean, most of the couples you're seeing on screen are not married to one another, and it works just fine. I mean, Tony and Pepper's chemistry, right, is fantastic.
Yes.
And Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow are not seeing each other, nor have they ever dated.
Right.
It just matters if you have good chemistry for your scene work.
Yep, absolutely.
Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little inside information right there. Okay, and what are we finishing off with here with?
Bunch of support. Thank you, John Wicht. Carl Bruss with a $20 super chat.
Thank you, Carl, just to be supportive. Thank you, man.
Kylo Ken, Fredo, and Andre. Andre sending in support too. So thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you to all you guys. And guys, that'll do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making this show part of your day. Big special thank you to all you guys who sent in the super chats. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did, and all of us involved with the show here. Thank you guys so much for your support. Want to thank the people sitting in the room with me. First of all, Chris Carr. Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find me online at actor Chris Carr on Instagram and on Twitter, and also feverishly trying to fix this hot toy that I might have broken.
You killed baby Luke. Sitting over there, Ray Aura. Ray, where can people find you?
Ray Aura with a 0.
And right beside him, we got producer Jonathan. Jonathan, where can people follow you?
You can find me at your local AMC Stopping Fights, and also on Twitter at Sonic if you want it.
And you guys, of course, can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, simply at John Campea. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. We got a mailbag coming up a little bit later this afternoon. Keep your guys' eyes open for that. Obviously, if you're channel members, you guys will get early access to it. Thanks to everybody for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.